2. Expedition to beat it before. I mean, the plan is to fully beat Expedition T3 before. Oh, what was I trying to say? Yeah, before this. So this marks, when this hits 0, chat, when this is 0, that marks 7 days. That means I've got exactly 7 days to beat Expedition T3. 8? What do you mean 8? It's always 7. Collaborate? Do I need a knock to collaborate, bro? Am I knocking to collaborate right now? Drop some vote. Oh yeah, let me get some drop info here. There we go, dude. Pen. Look, there you go. You got drop some info, guys. Log. Boom. Easy. Don't even know what that links to, bro. Doesn't matter. Okay, so it starts at 53 minutes, chat. It starts at 53 minutes, so we are a little bit ahead. But the thing is, I probably wouldn't kill that boss in time, so it's like, why start going for the zone and then to not kill the boss in time? We're going to stare at a count in 54 minutes. No! So that's what you'd think I would do, right? But actually, no. What I'm going to be doing is we're going to be discussing the new lit. What the fuck? Huh? What's going on? My standing desk just like cut out. It's been cutting in and out. And I don't know why. What the fuck? Dude, no way. My standing desk just like broke. It just like broke, bro. So I'm in halfway between the stand and a sit. Huh? I'm halfway between a stand and a sit. So I gotta kind of like do some sort of like crouch. Are we gonna count the seconds? Yo, we are gonna count the seconds, bro. Don't worry about it. Yo, I got questions, chat. I got questions. Like, is PoE 1 dead? Or actually, is PoE 2 so undercooked currently that PoE 1's actually just good? Like, obviously, PoE 2's got not enough shit in it, and the vibe's not right. It's like all the makings of a cracked game and a bunch of shit, but it's just like not cooked. PoE 1 and 2 both did. Wait for PoE 3. I think okay, this is all there is to it, bro. I think this is all there is. This has been PoE 1, bro, for like the longest time. Right? This has been PoE 1. I'm going to show you right now. I'm showing a graph. Look. I'll even make it dark mode for you guys. I'll make it dark mode.
Melee Meta Login Brew.
Okay, so look. Right up. This is PoE 1.
I've got a question. Are you ever going to kill a noob boss again? In either game?
This is PoE 1.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to gonorrhea_in_my_eyes.
I feel like kind of doing this, and actually, I feel like it's slightly degraded. I think it's been slightly degrading. That's my vibe. Like, and that, do you know where it was, dude? It's when C-dubs would kind of step back and all, you know, and they started leading hardcore into PoE 2. And then you got PoE 2, right? Which just came out of nowhere, and it's just like, but it's not quite as good. You know, it's fucking, it popped off super hard. It's just not quite as good. But it's just getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. And it's still, I think it's
Karanial
still
Jill
slightly
gifted a tier
worse.
1 sub to Volley9.
But it's probably more
They
like
have
this,
given
though.
199 gift subs in the channel.
It's probably more like this, though. And you know what? I want to say, because PoE1 has been getting neglected, right? Because PoE1 has been getting neglected. Because of PoE2, actually it's been getting actively worse. Right? It's been getting actively worse. Now, the question is, what happens when PoE2 breaks through? So, right, okay, so my graph here, bro, my graph, it's been getting worse. What happens if time keeps going like this, right? Is this new league gonna be like a fucking... Is that what this new league's gonna be? Is this new league gonna be one of these ones? Or is this new league gonna be like a tiny little bit of hype into no one gives a fuck about PoE1 and, you know, downwards emoji? Who knows? My prediction is going to be somewhere in between. It's not going to be like, PoE1's the greatest game ever made and fucking reborn. I think it's going to be somewhere in between. I think PoE1's going to get a bit of a boost. And then you're going to see it start flattening off again like usual. And then you're going to start going. And I think PoE2 is going to keep climbing. I think PoE2 is going to keep climbing, though. And it's just going to eventually, you're just going to break through. This is my prediction. And then when I see, what this will be PoE2. And this will be PoE1. Yeah. My graph is totally fucked, by the way. Because in the reality, you know, it's more like
Cock. I like Quinn.
They get least started getting longer. It's more like this. It's more like this. And then PoE2 is like this. It's the size of like two of these. This is PoE2. Although, to be honest, PoE2 kind of like... I don't even know what happened. Like, the fucking hyper release.
Karanial Jill gifted a tier 1 sub to Moncastop. They have given 200 gift subs in the channel.
The reality is, this graph is how good the game is, right? Over time. You know? PoE2, what I'm trying to say is PoE2 is just a baby. It's a baby, bro. PoE2 is a baby. PoE2 is a baby. Ignored. What did I ignore? He didn't... what's this? He's gifted a sub to Moncastop. PoE2 is a green air. Yeah, it's in early access. Elon Musk. It's time to drop the really big bomb. Real representation files. That's the real reason they've made it public. Have a nice day, DJT. What is this? Did he beat us into these three? Bro, no one get this politics dog shit out of here. Your maintenance license is expired. Fuck you. Fucking maintenance. Fucking everyone wants a subscription nowadays. Like, hey, you pay for the software, but like, you know, it's totally fine. It's working perfectly fine, but like, you're gonna need a subscription. How about this? Get the fuck out of here with this shit, dude. Wait, is it made by you? Fuck you. I don't like watch drama stuff.
Why do you keep shilling for Pota? You couldn't be bothered to get out of yellow maps, yet you keep talking like it's some kind of miracle in gaming. Last patch you even said that PPL shouldn't play cause it's bad.
This is called...
Mixed signals, little bro.
No, you're just not listening to what I'm saying. I think the game's early access and still cooking massively. And it's got tons of things wrong with it. You're creating a strawman and attacking something that doesn't exist. Congratulations. Like, I'm going to invent some random bullshit that doesn't exist, and I'm going to get it. Yeah. No. I keep saying PoE2 is a baby. It's clearly, the whole time, I have been consistently saying PoE1 is an objectively better game than PoE2. But I foresee the trajectory of PoE 2 overtaking PoE 1. It's just a matter of time, and it's going to be like a feedback loop situation. It's going to be a feedback loop situation, in my opinion. We'll see, though. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be cool if this stream of multiple games. You know, to be fucking badass. Of like they can somehow make some. The best way I see it PoE 1 surviving is they just use PoE 1 as a beta testing zone. Right? They beta test in PoE 1. Beta test ideas, do lots of weird shit in PoE 1, beta test, and then they implement PoE 2. Right, so PoE 1's like the live beta, it's like the PTR realm. Right? Chase uniques. In recent patches, at the goal to make experience for Final Drops a lot more satisfying, but in the area we didn't address some yet. Chase uniques, it's time to change that in patch 0.21. We significantly changed the uniques drop and adding some great new chase uniques as well.
What kind of an apple is Bo 2? I only understand apple analogies now.
It is a very, very, very. So the apple is super bright. It's a baby apple. It's nowhere near ripe. Although it's showing signs of ripeness, but it's like you definitely wouldn't want to eat it. It's just like it needs to mature more. It needs to mature more, 100%.
Kaum the usurper assembles his marauders at the foot of my watchtower. The foul kinslayer intends to slay us in our sleep. From the parapet, I ignite our beacons. I then dispatch Kaum's generals with ease, 2 at a time. My bowstring singing against the tidal breeze. My legion begins dropping boiling tar on the Karui animals below, while others release fiery arrows upon them. The flesh from their backs roast and fill the air with a sickening odor. It is the smell of victory. The dogs all begin to turn tail and flee, and so I give the order. Old arrows, men! Let's drive these savages into the sea! As we descend onto the beach, the Karui make their stand. With bow in hand, I make deft work of avoiding their blows, and then return fire. In the distance, I see the disdain in Kaum's eyes. And I know he sees my glare.
Oh, shit. Lionized glare, bro. Oh, fizz damage. Okay. Accuracy rating, attack speed, dex. Plus 2 meters dodge roll distance if you haven't dodge rolled recently. -1 dodge roll distance if you've dodge rolled recently. Oh. Barrageable attacks with this bow repeat +1 time if no enemies are in your presence. Huh? I guess they just define like a really small range as presence.
This unique bow will be added in 021, alongside many other unique items. When wielded, you gain some of the power of the masterful archer, General Marcius Lioni himself. As long as you're not too close to your enemies, all barrageable attacks with this bow will be repeated. To help you keep your distance, the bow also increases how far you can dodge roll.
Jesus.
However, as Lioni eventually learned the hard way, you must be careful not to commit too deep into combat, as subsequent rolls will be shorter. This is a powerful weapon, and with enough savvy, you may just live longer than the Eternal General himself.
Shit, bro. Shit, bro. Oh, shit, the crossbow. Okay, what's this?
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2.
This is,
Today,
chat, this is, by the way, this isn't started yet, by the way. It starts in 40 minutes. This is just like some PoE 2 shit. This is PoE 2 shit, obviously.
we've got a unique item showcase for The Last Lament, a brand new crossbow being added in 021. This crossbow originates from the height of the Eternal Empire, during the reign of Emperor Chittus. Kalisa Mars, known for her amazing singing abilities, due to the virtue gem embedded in her throat, was slain by her very own composer, Adamantia. During this murder, Kalisa unleashed such powerful screams that their sheer force killed both of them, eternally trapping their souls in the crossbow.
Oh, shit.
The last lament has interesting modifiers
What
to
the
reflect
fuck?
this
Damn.
tragic tale.
Okay.
The first, a chance to reload bolts on kill, represents the crossbow's ability to capture the souls of slain
Sure.
enemies and use them as ammunition. Secondly, the crossbow has infinite ammo, as long as your soul is resilient enough by feeding life into the crossbow. But be careful not to feed it all, as you too might get trapped in it forever. Thirdly, and what makes this crossbow truly shine, is its granted skill, Compose Requiem. Harness the power of the entwined souls within to unleash the fury of Khaleesi and Adamantia themselves by weaponizing their torment and laying waste to all enemies in sight.
I read it. Your ability capacity accumulates anguish from the tormented souls within. When fully charged, use this to compose the Requiem, transferring your crossbow into a torrent of anguish for a short, fixed amount of time. Ooh. 891 attack damage.
You'll notice as using the skill, you get to hear the composition of Adamantia and the voice of Khaleesi herself echoing for every bolt you fire.
See, like, this would normally be like, what the fuck is this dog shit in PoE1? Because it wouldn't be 6-link, but in PoE2, it's like, everything can be 6-link, so GG. Well, how much damage was the bow, actually, though? What was the actual stats on the bow? I don't actually see. What the fuck is this? 127 to 500. 500 is a high number on the high end, at least. That's a decent number, right? On the high end. Reduce this bit. Okay, sacrifice 300 life instead of consuming the last bolt when firing. Oh, so you can reload normally if you don't want to consume life. 1 elk weapons. You're gonna say 1 elk weapon, bro? I don't know. I don't know. +4 to all cults spell skills. Okay. Reduce cast speed. Okay. 11% int. Okay. 4% increased spell damage per 10 int. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Inflict cold exposure on hit, lowering total cold rest by 20. So you get cold exposure. It's quite easy to get that shit anyway, though, right? And then you're getting 11% in with the 4% per 10. And then you got all the other stacking bullshit. Oh, then again, the nerf the tribute stacking quite a lot. Oh shit, you get a higher. Fucking, it's got fucking teeth on it, bro. It's got teeth. This is like cool, but I don't really care because I don't intend to play PoE 2 until the new league. So yeah, I don't intend to play it till. Chat, I'm gonna play PoE 2. Oh my god, PoE 2 good. I just don't intend to play it. It's like whatever, dude. You're putting your shit in, but I'm not gonna play it. Dude, what the hell? What do I do? My power for my fucking disc is not working, so I legit can't get comfortable. Oh my god. Each verified is a crescendo, splinter, reversing, diamond, covetous, or blunt arrow. Huh? Wait, so you just randomly, it's gonna randomly splinter, reversed. Diamond, was that crit? Blunt, was that stun and knockback? What is crescendo, like repeats, I'm guessing? Oh, I can just read it on the right. Crescendo arrows chain 6 times and deals 6% increased damage for each time they've chained. Damn! Split arrows to split towards 6 targets. Okay. Reversing arrows pierce all targets and return to you. Fair enough. Odds with diamond arrows are critical hits with 60% increased crit damage bonus. Enemies killed with a covetous arrow drop items with 600% rarity. What the hell? Blunt arrows cause 600% stun build up. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. It's kind of neat. I hate fucking rarity though. You love, yeah, famously PoE players love RNG. yes, it's funny how dumb people are, and they think like, I'm a PoE player. I'm a PoE player, bro. Oh, I don't like RNG. And it's the whole game is literally RNG. Like every time you kill a monster and it has a chance of dropping loot, or you kill a boss and there's a chance it drops something. It's the entire reason you're addicted to the game and you like the game is because RNG. Oh, I want everything to be purely deterministic. You would stop playing the game instantly. Like, the dopamine hit of killing something and it maybe drop something is the reason why you play the game. That's the ultimate loop. It's legit. PoE is just gambling. PoE is just gambling. Holy shit. The info is from Elon. Trump is a kid. What are we doing here, bro? Bang! What's Elon doing now? Is he having a minute breakdown? I don't want to look at anything politics and shit. Okay, there was one tweet from Elon Musk saying something like the president is in the files or something. Where is it? Look. Time to drop the really big truth bomb. Donald Trump is in the FCC files. That's the only reason they have not been released to the public. Have a nice day, DJG. Okay. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. So they're beefing, clearly. They're beefing. No one cares. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? Says the billionaire. Bro, I don't care. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody wanted. He just went crazy. Yeah, okay, no one cares. I'm not looking at the shit, dude. By the way, Exile. Hey, Elon, they're both babies. Elon's a baby. Same with Trump. They're just having a little baby rage. Hey, that's just, there it is, guys. I'll be right back. Guys, I gotta try to fix my desk, and I gotta get coffee. We got 32 minutes, 45 seconds till the shit drops. So, get your pork chops ready!
No preparation, yep. No practice run, yep. Pob in his head, yep. Bottom left of the tree, yep. Stacking max endurance charges, yep. It's time to log the fucking boys, we finally home strong. Samwiza, get it cracking with those Po1 rip clips. Mods. Two. Heard joke once, man goes to doctor. Says he's depressed. Says life seems harsh and cruel. Says he feels all alone in a threatening world where what lies ahead is vague and uncertain. Doctor says, treatment is simple. Great clown Quin69 is in town tonight. Go and see him. That should pick you up. Man bursts into tears. Says, but doctor, I am Quin69.
Chat, is it all good? Yo, Bloodhound Step. Where can you guys give me a hint? Like, if I wanted to get Bloodhound Step, where would I find that? Where would I find Bloodhound Step? Yo, why are you only modding, dude? Fuck you. Yo, I'm just saying, like, yo, I'm never gonna... I really want to use it because it's really fun gameplay and I really enjoy playing it. No, I really enjoy playing Bloodhound Step. Like, I really do. And it's like, okay. I would love to, like, juice this thing up, make it Bloodhound Step, pop off. You know, that'd be badass. Don't you think? Nighttime enemy on a horse. Wait, do you reckon the guy that I literally fought at the beginning of this fucking thing? The mob at the beginning of the zone that I literally fought. Far East Caleb.
Maven.Mathil, are you coming over again soon? I've been stuck with Quinton and well you know he doesn't perform like you do. Mathil. Maven. I told you not to get hung up. We just do these things for fun. Maven. Fun? At least Quinton says the camera panned out and I shit you not, the man said but doctor I am Quin69. New League Pog.
Okay, wait. I think my breaker flipped. It must be all that's happened, right? No. What is going on? Yo, is it possible that my standing disc could just die? Oh, it's working now. Alright, GG. What a weird... The fucking device just completely stopped working. I have something... Chat, holy fuck. There's a massive PoE2 on the horizon. I have something real weird going on. I have a UPS, which is called an uninterruptible power supply. It turns on and off, and it has been for like the last couple weeks. Constantly. And it's just bricked. I don't know what's going on with it. Something fucky's going on with the power, and it has been for quite a while. And now recently my standing disc has been turning off and turning on. Which is like, why is it doing that? Huh? Don't step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. Step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. What is this? What is this? Oh, I wonder, do you think they're gonna do... Oh, I shouldn't... Okay. The Tarathan Code, Article 5. Those of the great houses shall answer any blood wager issued. The victor may choose one of 3 fates for those bested to seize a trinket, bind them in employ, or decree banishment. Only the challenger risks death's embrace. Okay, so what the heck? So if you challenge him, you can get a trinket, but you could die. Okay. All under the great houses of Kita, Coriaxian, Bardia, and Asdaldi shall uphold this code, or forfeit their standing in the death trades. Huh? We, the leaders of the houses of Tartarus, bind this article to the Tartaran code on this. The 4th menses of Kotharin's primacy, sealed in blood and oath. Huh? Okay. An arena, maybe? The victor may choose one of 3 fates for those bested to seize a trinket. So you can make them into a slave, you can banish them, or you can kill them. Okay, that's I'm translating for you guys. He's saying the victor, so the person who wins gets to choose what happens. So you get a trinket. And then you get to choose if you get to make them a slave, banish him, or kill him. Okay. Don't say shit up. Yo, why is this raging? Factions! All under the great houses. Okay, he's got some houses. Shall uphold this code. Or for the standing on the district. Okay. So they're saying, if you're in this house... You got to follow these rules. Or you don't get to be in the death trades. So this is the Tarthan Code. Article 5. Okay, so this is the code, okay, bro? Banish, enslave, or kill. We, the leaders of the House of Tartarus, bind this article to the Tartaran Code on this... Okay, sealed on blood oath. Oh, wow. So, okay, I see. So, the rule is you have to accept the blood wager. So, the challenges will go out. You got to take them. If you win, you get a trinket. If you lose... Wait, do you think this is going to be something where it's another player, like some PvEVP thing? Do you think it's a PvEVP thing? Where it's like you have to put up a trinket and then it from your house and it goes to another house. I think there's a non-zero chance. No, not PvP. I'm saying PvEVP. So it'll be like you wouldn't fight a player, but you would put an item up, and then it's a blood wage is issued, and then they get something. But then if you lose, then I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I'm speculating. It could be. Certainly, though, it does seem like, okay, you get a blood wager, then you've got to do it. And if you win, then you get to pick if you want to slave. I mean, why wouldn't you just get everyone to be a slave? I'm just going to enslave everyone. I'm going to be the slave king. I'm going to be the slave king. It's probably going to be a limit of how many slaves you can have, right? Wait, what house am I joining, boys? Thing is, we might be a tartan. We might be a tartan, and this is just the people we interact with. If I get to choose, bro, I'm going to go the one that's easiest to pronounce. So we got Katia, Kiaxian, Bardia. Bardia is pretty chill. Bardia. Kind of liking Bardia. And as Adi. Yeah, I'm going to go Bardia. Depending on, unless there's like a melee one, I'm going Bardia. If there's no difference, I'm probably going Bardia. Not going to lie. I'm a Bard main. Straight up. Calling it now. This is Legion V2. Oh, shit. Legion V2? Legion 2, dude. Oh, yeah. We got to fucking make sure ads don't happen during the thing, but the main announcement, by the way. Samisia's probably already doing it. I'm guessing Samisia's already doing it because he's like he's too smart, isn't he? We. When it's saying we, I mean me. I'm just saying me. But, I mean, he might have already done it. I'm 30 and I play Ruthless since day one. We end up the same, chat. Damn, bro. This guy's a complete Giga Chad, bro. This guy's a Giga Chad here. He's sharing your dumb thoughts that benefits no one. Wait, where's that guy at? We're going to ban this guy. Watch it be accurate, by the way. Watch it be accurate, by the way. What the fuck? This guy is such a hater, bro. Look at this little hater-ass bitch. Everything he's typing is hate watch. I'm not good at reading words. I'll admit. It's one of my weakest things. The thing is, I'm good at reading. Like, I can read things quickly. It's reading them aloud that's hard. I read Twitch head all day, bro. Yo, this guy says, shut the fuck up, Quinn, bitch.
EEEE 777.
What the hell, pussy? Fuck you, missed gun. Fuck you,
Thank you for all the great content. Po1 greater than Po2. 50 IQ interpretations.
15 IQ, yeah. No. After 6 months, the stream is watchable again. Yeah, this guy's a hate watcher as well, bro, for sure. This guy's a hate watcher for sure. Wait, didn't I just permaban you? Wait, I'm pretty sure you just got fucking unbanned. Oi, moron, that's like literally your last chance. Like, actually, you're gone next time. You're just gone. You just fucking gone. You're gone. Okay, you understand me, bro? You're actually, like, what? You fucking just got unbanned, and then you're... I did unban requests! I did all the unban requests. Okay, we'll see. Have a look here. Wait, let's see. We do some unban requests. We got. How long we got, chat? 15 minutes. We got 15. Let's do some unban requests, eh? Okay, we got DI. We love Asmongold, Tectone, Aiden Ross, XGI's Poseidon. Huh? I don't know what the fuck's... We'll deny this guy. Okay, so old account, 2015. Nobody here stopped tweeting. Sorry, it was a dig at tweeting in general, as opposed to the streamer. I believe it was a year or two ago. I can only apologize for my insolence. Focus up. Okay, this guy's called XCL. Quinn, quit, please. A lot of people already played this game, and a lot of us already beat this. Oh, wait, could someone be... Wait a minute. Could someone do a... Could some of these guys be appealing like a fucking spoiler in the game that I'm playing? Yo, does anyone want to quickly just scan to make sure there's no spoilers in here? Like, I don't care. You can leave anything else in. Feel free to leave anything else in. Just spoilers for Expedition 33. We got 14 minutes, chat. Legit. Just 14 minutes. I gotta speed around these. Okay. Quinn, please. Okay, so a lot of people already played the game. A lot of us viewers already bit this game. So far, many of us, it's like the 10th more time watching someone play this. We don't want to watch you play it right now. Hi, Quinn. This game came out a while ago. I watched a lot of streamers play this game already. I played it myself. It's a great game, but I don't want to watch you play it because it's already yesterday's news, if that makes sense. Can you quit, please? What the how autistic is this guy? The world revolves around me. I've specifically already played this game, so therefore you cannot play it. What's this embarrassing? I don't know where this shift happened, but you have it backwards. Do you realize that you are nothing without me?
Annual testicular check reminder.
Without a viewers, you don't have a job and you have no exposure. So when I ask you to switch games, you should switch games. I don't.
Quinn, I hope you know your
to
Elon cheating
your
info
channel.
video has now led to the implosion of the US government.
Yo, I don't know what's going on with that. It's crazy, eh? No comment. I don't to your channel to watch you play games. I come to the channel to watch a game I want to watch. This guy is the man. This guy is the fucking man. What's crazy is, you know that this guy's not joking, right? Hey, dude, I don't want to watch you play this game. It looks really stupid. The characters look dumb. I don't want to watch this garbage, man. Quit or I'll unfollow. Look how
Can I
stupid
get a
your character
welcome to the
looks, man.
circus?
Come on.
Choo, a little guppy.
Dude, this guy is crazy. Okay, I'm banned. True.
Yep, cock.
Viewers dropping like flies. Is this
So
DPS
going
check?
to unban this sitso just to create more work for us. Thanks, bro.
Bro, why do I get banned in every channel? Okay, viewer Andy plus gets banned in every channel. Bro. We'll give him a chance. I'm feeling quite magnanimous this day. Sniping is ethical while he's getting boosted. Oh. Alright, we'll go.
Yo.
Alright, we'll give him a little. We'll just give him a little more. Oh, he's a ban evader. Is it even worth unbanning him? I don't know if it's even worth unbanning him.
Too neat is a
Banning him for
spoiler.
2023. I don't know. Whatever, dude. We'll unban him, bro. He did unban. Ah! Hell no. That's. Wait. Okay. The good news is. Well, the good news is. Whatever. Wait. Is there spoilers here? I don't want. Wait, I'm looking at Twitch chat. Is there spoilers here? Is there spoilers here? Is that a spoiler? I haven't looked. No, it's not? Okay. Your little mod DJ Teo is a complete PE. Do you should worry about that little gup? Bad for business to be attached. Complete PE? What does that mean? P? P. What does it mean? Pedo? Is it a pedo? Is he saying pedo? Oh, okay. Wait, what is this? It's funny all the people insulted by my trues are the little virgins with anime PvP saying it's bait. It's still you, little guy. Average enjoyer of this game, typical. Rachel Legends, garbage for pedos and weebs. Stay mad, weeb. Do you know people are obsessed with pedos and that? Like, those are the biggest red flags. Like, if you're out there calling, like, yelling and, like, shouting from rooftops, calling everyone pedophile, that's like a self-report. Actual self-report. Constantly raised me chat during 3 likely main event followed. Yeah, fuck him, bro. Fuck him. Fuck him, bro. Okay, so it says, what is your problem, clown? Sorry for calling you a clown. It will never happen again. 2015. Okay, we don't ban though. You should end the stream. I forgot to type meme in my message. Worst logs perma v types like this again. Worst okay, perma okay. +1 to that, +1 to that. Okay, well, unban them. If they say sorry, you just unban them. No, that's how. If they're not a ban evader and they say sorry, so you just unban them. I'm so addicted to my own fucking putrid. I think I typed this during the heights of an episode. I was having basic. I managed to have some mez now. Alcohols don't mix. Last chance. Alright. Love stream. I noticed I went on quite a spam spree. It happens sometimes. Okay, bro. Your last chance. Pop off. The chat experience is a lot of fun when not disassociating. Cheers. Alright, bro. What are you doing on Gay Boy Blue Hair Man's game? You didn't know Ziz owns this. Maybe homophobic. Bro, chill with gay stuff. Okay? Gotta try be funny to be joke. Alright. Oh my god, I can't stop it. Okay, this guy said the N-word, but with a little... Wait, like, you had to go out of your way to use, like, a weird little dash to get it in. And it's not even, like... I was testing your bandwidth. Sorry, I'm not racist. He did say sorry. It's his first ban, and it's a 2013 account. I don't understand why you would test that. It's fucking pretty dumb, but, you know, whatever. But how long have we got? We got 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes! Your definition of nutty in terms of SC players is literal null. Your lead slamming, your move speed is going to be hardly noticeable. It's been over a year, I've performed many times over, like another chance, I'm sorry. LC is code, by the way, for last chance. LC means last chance. Yawn. If you want to be a Bojo and face tank everything with 90% dodge, that's your choice. Just don't expect chat to praise you for it or enjoy watching that dog-ass no-skill gameplay. LOL W. You made me mauled by dodge stacking and core keeper or whatever in the boat boss. Claimed you let 0 times when you got hit multiple times, but proceeded. But dodge procced and were upset. Chat for not praising you. You should unban me because you're surely. What do you guys think of this? This guy doesn't sound very remorseful at all. I think we do a monitor. We'll do a monitor and we'll say, "Hate watcher, way too invested." needs to calm down. And plus LC means last chance. I mean, you're watching the stream, right? So you've just seen that, right? I'll send you the message there. We got 4 minutes. You love playing PoE, little bro. You love playing PoE, little bro. Am I the only one that find Quin stream quality is getting worse? Like, it's not even entertaining anymore to watch him. It's even worse in PoE stream.
I don't know where this shift happened, but you have it backwards. Do you realize that you are nothing without me? Without us viewers, you don't have a job and you have no exposure. So when I ask you to switch games, you should switch games. I don't go to your channel to watch you play games. I come to the channel to watch a game I want to watch.
The guy's a man.
Chat! Racist, I want unban. Insulting my gaming skills is a permaban.
But can I unban this guy? Because he's a fucking moron. Dude, I like the guys who like can't type normally. Okay, we'll give him an LC anyway. We'll give him an LC. Sell out dog shit games. Quinny, I'm sorry. I will never talk shit against monster games again. Monitoring 2024.
Racist equals unban. Meme equals permalol W.
Okay. All right, there we go. Boom! All right, boys, are your Pog Champs ready? Because it's going down, boys. 3 minutes. And... oh, audio's fucked. Yeah, there it is. There it is. We are down 3 minutes. Let's close this shit down. All right, I didn't make my final copy before this thing starts. I'm making my final copy. Get your Pog Champs ready. It's going down, boys.
Nice. Perfect. This is good.
Nah, how's that allowed?
This is prime. This is good.
FYI,
This
chat
is good.
there are
Win.
multiple chatters with 2 to 3
11 third
last
charge.
chance
Nice.
comment.
Start choking. This is prime. Nice. This is very good. You're dead. Yes! Yeah! 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 We got him.
Let's fucking go.
Hell yes, baby. What are you doing? Should we hide the timer as well? Hide this shit, fuck it. QB.
Yoga macros, weird jump.
Dude, we got 1 minute. I'm trying to fucking turn that shit off.
Hello, I'm Mavin, and this is my
We
voice.
need to turn off that redeem. Can we turn off that redeem? Can anyone turn
Hello,
off that redeem?
I'm Mavin, and this is my voice.
Can anyone turn it off?
A
The
bubba.
one that pops up.
A
Do
bubba.
not redeem. I got it.
I can't hold it in.
I got it. There it is. Got it. GG noobs. Seconds! TDS is gonna turn off, obviously. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games, and today we're here to showcase a new expansion for PoE 1. It's certainly been too long since we had one of these.
True.
Now, we had some struggles as a studio for a little while there, but we've got our shit together and we're back in action now. Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas is coming out 1 week from now on the 13th of June, and we're committing right now to a 4-month cycle for both PoE 1 and 2. That means the next PoE 2 League will be in August, and the next PoE 1 League after that will be in October. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream.
Yeah, they are.
So you'll be able to claim your Skull of Undeath helmet skin by following the instructions below.
It's on the pinned comment.
This Skull of Undeath will track and show your total number of kills, deaths, and your KDR. Just because Path of Exile isn't a first-person shooter doesn't mean this isn't important. Proudly or shamefully, link it to your friends or in global chat to show it off.
That's kind of cool.
And with that, let's get to why you're here. Secrets of the Atlas.
You can search 1,000 worlds and still never truly discover who you are. Trust me. I should know. But now, I seek something more tangible.
Bro, they're gamaging. They're gamaging, bro.
Someone I care for. Trapped within the Atlas.
Zana.
Reliving memories. Made real.
What have you done?
Made grotesque. Made foul.
Oh shit!
These manifestations must be destroyed.
Boss is at the war zone!
Their threads must be eradicated.
What's that bitrate? That bitrate's terrible.
I must have answers.
It's so bad. The bitrate's so bad.
We must find the originator. We must save my sister.
Yo, so is that 4 new in-game bosses? New in-game mechanics. New pinnacle bosses. Oh, hell yes! Dude, static. I hope they're static bosses. A completed King's March. Rune crafting. Huh?
Come, child. Drink deep the
What?
waters of life.
You're either a client or a target.
Mercenaries of Tartarus.
Job's done.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Bro, this is big dick. This is like
Your
minimal.
sanity is not promised to you here.
We're getting like 2 leagues. We're getting in-game expansion and a league in one. This is like a big dick one.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. As you just saw from the trailer, there's a lot to show you. Today, we will take you on a deep dive into the new Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas in-game update. Then, we'll explore the new Challenge League, the Mercenaries of Trathus. After that,
It's a
we'll
double
cover the
expansion.
integration of gold into PoE 1 and how we're bringing Settlers of Kalgur into the core game.
Oh shit.
Finally, we have a much-awaited upgrade to Betrayal League and a set of quality of life improvements. Then, we'll wrap up by discussing our boss kill
Dude.
race event, showing you our new supporter packs, and ending with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Jonathan and I your questions from
I want a
Twitch chat.
currency bag next to my bag.
In Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas, strange rifts have begun to appear across the Atlas. Zana has returned and appears to be trapped within. Partway through the endgame, you will meet Egan, an intelligent man of mysterious heritage. These tears in reality he has discovered are actually threads of memory, distorted and made real by the Atlas. Egan is able to create a link to these memory threads and open portals to them. Working with Egan, you must step through and find Zana, or whatever remains of her. Okay, so that's the story background, but how does this expansion actually work? In the Secrets of the Atlas, the pursuit of Zana with Egon is a new storyline that is introduced in high-tier maps. Upon meeting Egan and discovering the tier, he will then transfer it to your map device and reveal this on your atlas, a thread of memories. In order to now access each map on the thread, you simply need to talk to Egan when you're ready, and he'll open the areas in sequence.
Okay.
These areas can be fully influenced by your atlas tree, scarabs, fragments, and everything of
So
the
it's not
sort.
like a normal memory, it's different.
As you work your way along the thread, you will discover that these maps have manifested dangerous threats, influenced by the memories of Zana herself. Monsters here are imbued with memory petals. Defeat them to absorb this power, which can be unleashed as a special ability during combat. Different maps on the thread have different abilities, and these abilities appear on an additional mini skill bar next to your regular skills. For example, Memory of Disbelief will cause all affected monsters to stop dropping equipment items, meaning they can now only drop more valuable items, like currency and maps. Memory of Panic will make all affected monsters revive immediately after death, which
Just
means you
thinking
can
if I'm
get
on
twice
right?
as much experience
I am.
and drops from them. And Memory of Impatience will cause all surrounding enemies to give you their souls, temporarily increasing your power. As you progress further into the thread of memories, the maps can have more than one memory, and thus you can have more than one powerful ability. As you gather memory petals, you can use these powers together. Each skill costs its own amount of memory petals. So using the examples above, you can first use Memory of Impatience to become way more powerful, then use Memory of Panic to prepare them to revive when they are slain, then use Memory of Disbelief to cause them to drop better, more valuable items. Finally, obliterate them all. The Memory of Panic will kick in, causing them to revive, and then wipe them out again, allowing you to get all the experience and enhanced drops twice. There are many combinations of these powers, so you'll have to carefully consider how they best work together. That's not the only extra layer of content juicing these maps offer. As you defeat the boss of each map along the thread, you are presented with an altar. This altar will apply a modifier to all following maps in the thread.
That's fun.
And these will stack as you go. So the deeper you delve into a memory, the more mods you will have.
Are they kind of stealing that from last epoch?
This,
Hey, whatever.
combined with the special abilities, will allow for some of the most juice maps
Hell yeah.
ever run in
Hell yeah.
Path of Exile. Let's take a look at some of the altar mods. You are always presented with two choices and must pick one.
No cost.
This mod, for example, will cause some
They'll
rare
kill your
monsters to
character.
be possessed by tormented spirits.
Kill you.
Where this mod makes Kerak modifiers free to craft. Both of these apply to all subsequent maps in the thread. The final map in each thread is a true challenge, with all the altar mods applying to it and guarded by a powerful boss. Each of these bosses are familiar, but dreamlike, drawn from Zana's memories and warped by the Atlas into something very different and terrifying. In this map, you will fight the pinnacle boss, Cirrus. Fueled by Zana's affectionate memories of him, his enhanced abilities can prove to be a unique challenge.
Cirrus Reforged.
If you manage to defeat Cirrus, or one of the other warped memory bosses, they will drop a map fragment, which Egan can use to delve deeper into the memory tears. With these, you can access a set of 3 new pinnacle bosses.
Jesus. And it's static by default.
In
I
this
like
arena, the moment of reverence, Zana is reliving a memory of her father, Valdo, giving a passionate speech in Oriath. The Atlas distorts this memory of her father as a powerful, influential man and manifests those emotions into a twisted nightmare, the incarnation of dread.
Bullet hell, bro. Holy.
Another memory created is the incarnation of neglect and the incarnation of fear. Good luck, Exiles. Of course, if you are brave and strong enough to defeat them, each of these new pinnacle bosses have new unique items befitting them. If you slay the incarnation of fear, you might be lucky enough to find the Starcaller unique abyssal axe. We're gonna show this one because it's straight up badass.
Starfall, what is that?
The Starcaller axe is a weapon that can harness the power of the stars themselves to deal immense damage. What makes it shine, however, is that on melee crit, it casts Starfall, a new skill. With the right build, you can carpet entire areas and wipe out screens of enemies as you rain down the elements upon them.
It's kind of cool.
Another item you may find, and this one is my favorite, is the Wine of the Prophet unique flask.
Divination
It consumes a lot of charges, but every time you use it, you draw a random divination card. This card appears above you and correlates to a powerful buff. If you draw the Escape card, you'll gain increased movement speed. Or maybe you'll draw the Doctor, which will cause you to gain the modifiers of slain rares you kill. Effectively, you can think of this unique as being many other uniques all in one. There are many cards to draw, each with varying degrees of power to grant.
It could maybe fuck your build over though, right?
Okay,
'Cause it could convert
but
your
let's
shit.
get back to the Atlas. After defeating all 3 new Pinnacle bosses, you'll be able to find new memory-influenced Tier 16 maps. These maps come with the previously mentioned special abilities and monsters infused with memory petals, but can also roll the same modifiers typically found on Tier 17 maps, making them far more rewarding. With all these new memory maps comes a new item mechanic. Items in these maps can drop with memory strands, and will have a random amount, up to 100.
Oh shit!
This does a few things.
The last
When you
epoch.
identify the item, it will increase the tiers of modifiers your item has.
Okay.
Generally speaking, the more memory strands, the better the item will be. On top of this, whenever you're crafting that item using currency orbs to replace or add modifiers, such as alterations, chaos, and so forth, it will consume some memory strands to make the crafted mods more powerful.
What?
The new Pinnacle bosses also drop new crafting currencies, which can be used to manipulate the amount of memory strands on an item.
So you can guarantee slam some high
The Orb
shit.
of Remembrance will let you add memory strands to any normal equipment. So if you have your perfect base to craft on, and it doesn't already have memory strands, you can add some before crafting it.
Not that useful.
The Orb of Unraveling will consume all remaining memory strands on an item to randomly upgrade its mod tiers.
What?
This orb's effectiveness is based on the number of memory strands it consumes. The Orb of Intention can be used on memory influence maps to reduce item drops, but improve the chance to find items with memory strands. In the process of adding these new currency items, we realized something was missing. The Shaper and the Elder did not have their own Exalted Orbs. This has now been rectified.
Oh, they buffing
Both
them?
bosses now have Exalted Orbs, which can add their influence to an item. Zana was there from the beginning, when the Shaper Pinnacle fight was first added. She helped defeat the Elder, and she was a critical part of the Conqueror's storyline. Now, with all 6 influence types having their own Exalted Orbs, the cycle is complete. It's almost as if we could now do some sort of new, epic, unique item to interact with them. In other news, there of course has to be
one of each
Atlas
item?
passive tree support for this new endgame content. Let's take a look at a few things we're adding. The Grasp the Past notable passive skill increases the chance for the amount of memory strands on items dropped in your memory influence maps to be lucky. This means it will roll the number of memory strands twice, keeping the highest value. By allocating traumatic experience, remembered kindness, or educated upbringing, you'll decrease the chance of finding memory threads that lead to specific bosses, meaning you'll have better chances at finding the memory threads you would like to run. This is especially useful if you want to target farm a specific boss because of its unique item drops. In sum, the secrets of the Atlas will have you questioning what is real as you attempt to free Zana from warped memories scattered throughout the Atlas. You'll fight new Guardian and Pinnacle bosses tormenting her, find crazy new Pinnacle uniques, combine and unleash memory petal-empowered skills, juice maps to new heights, and craft powerful new items. While we were showing all the juicy rewards from the new endgame system, you might have noticed that a lot of gold was dropping. Let's talk about that. Gold was introduced during the Settlers of Calgary expansion. It funded the development and operations of King's March, along with various new features such as the currency exchange, the black market, and the passive respec system with Faustus. Those features offered by Faustus will be here to stay, along with some of the other services King's March has to offer. We'll get more into that later, but don't worry. King's March has already been completed. There will be no more town building. Like before, gold will be used for town services, but we're also adding a new way to use it in the upcoming league.
Okay.
It's time to talk about Mercenaries of Trathus.
Alright, here we go.
In this league, you will meet veterans who have travelled all the way from the lawless cities of Trathus. They're ready to offer their sinister services, but not for free. You will encounter these mercenaries as you journey through Rayclast,
Is it an actual
one
word?
in each area. They have their own personalities and come with different builds, skills, and items already equipped. After meeting them, as per the Trathan code, they will challenge you to a duel, a test of strength and conviction. Before beginning the duel, you will be offered an overview of the mercenary you've encountered. Here, you can see the gear they have equipped, the skills they employ, and any support effects augmenting those skills. You must now make a choice. You can hire their services, take one of their items, or exile them.
Oh!
If you choose to hire them, for a gold cost, they will accompany you as a skilled combatant to assist you in fighting monsters throughout Rayclast. Once you've decided, you can begin the duel. This is a great opportunity to test them, as you don't want to be out of pocket with a useless rookie. However, they're testing you too. They also don't want to be working for an amateur. So, what items might they be using? Generally speaking, mercenary gear is more powerful than what you'd normally find from defeating monsters, as they've been crafting their items too. They can also come equipped with unique items, those that would make sense for the skills they are using. There are even some new unique items that can only be obtained from defeating them.
This is
One such unique is Scornflux. These boots combine agility with the mastery of the arcane. While equipped, increases to cast speed from Arcane Surge also apply to movement speed, which is worth noting is now 20% inherently from Arcane Surge, up from 10. They also grant Arcane Surge when you use a movement skill. This allows for some speedy spellcasters. Sometimes you may meet particularly infamous Trathan mercenaries, bearing the name of their house. These mercenaries descend from the 4 major death trade families in Trathus. They are less common, but have far better items. And they are also the sole source of items with new, infamous modifiers, unseen before in Rayclast, such as these gloves, which convert all of your minions' fire damage to chaos damage.
Okay.
Or this helmet, which causes nearby enemies to take more physical damage as you gain more fortification.
That's pretty dirty.
If you're not swayed by any of their equipped gear, however, you can always challenge them for the contents of their pockets. If you lose the duel, don't worry. You don't need to give them an item. You aren't bound to Trathan tradition like they are. However, you are bound to Rayclast tradition, so you'll just die.
Almost at me. Well, not really.
While playing in a
At least they teleport away.
each player can decide whether or not they want to participate in combat against the mercenary. For each player that opts in, the mercenary gets more difficult. But if they're defeated, each player has a 50% chance to get a random reward, which is usually currency items from the mercenary's pouch.
Okay.
Alternatively, party members that opt out of the fight can spectate and cheer you on. Or they might wish for your demise, so they can pick up that allocated divine waiting off screen.
Dead. Good.
Let's say you won the duel, like their items, and have decided to hire them. What combat skills do they bring to the table? Each mercenary has an archetype. Here, this mercenary is an Eruptor,
Debuff
which
one should be
perfectly
good,
couples
right?
with my slower, more aura-focused Scion. This mercenary is highly aggressive, and will get a lot of benefit from the auras and buffs I provided.
Minion cuck, bro.
When I'm playing a more aggressive character myself though, I'll want a mercenary with a bit more resilience and utility.
Yeah, buff.
I've just run into a Striker, who can spawn with Vigilant Strike. And if you're lucky, a very rare golden support that causes the Fortify granted by his Vigilant Strike to apply to me as well. He will also frequently use Enduring Cry, taunting enemies off of me, and operating as a tanky frontline while I blitz off damage from the back.
Fucking range cuts and
Sometimes
spell
when you
cuts
fight
are
a
gonna be
mercenary,
OP.
you may notice the skills they're using are different from normal. For example, this sniper is using a Trathan version of Siege Ballista. If you're lucky, you will be able to select it as your reward when challenging them. Then defeat them, and they'll drop the Trathan gem as promised. You can only have one mercenary accompanying you at a time, but up to 3 total in your service. The other 2 will wait patiently in town.
Can you change it again?
Having varied options is useful, as there may be situations where you need specific backup, like a difficult boss fight. Any of your mercenaries you have active, or in your reserves, can have their equipment replaced with items of your choosing.
Oh, shit!
They don't level up, so you will want to be looking out for more skilled and more powerful mercenaries as you advance through the campaign
What about their links and shit?
If your mercenary falls in combat, you will need to return to town and spend some gold on healing supplies to get them back on their feet. Then perhaps consider giving them some upgrades, if you think it's deserved. I just wanted to clarify, mercenaries do not lose their equipment when defeated. If your merc buddy consistently fails you, you can just dismiss them and find a new, more resilient ally.
Take a scare of them.
You walk your path, I'll walk mine.
Later, bitch.
Earlier, I mentioned you could exile mercenaries. If you keep running into a mercenary archetype and you think, man, this guy stinks, their gear is trash and they have no auras, you can then choose to exile them. If you win the duel, they'll be forced to leave with their tail between their legs, and you won't encounter that archetype again for a while.
Ah, I see, so you
Now,
get fish for the right
alongside
one.
these new Trathan arrivals, we shouldn't forget about the recent Kalgurin ones too. As we mentioned earlier, the Settlers update introduced gold-based respeccing of passive points. You can now do so by talking to a number of NPCs throughout Rayclast, starting with Bestil and Lionized Watch.
Early as fuck.
Black market item gambling, previously just available in Kingsmarch, is now available in each town at the same NPC.
Okay.
This lets you buy randomly generated item bases for gold. Very useful if you're stuck for upgrades or searching for a specific unique.
Bro.
The currency exchange will be returning too. Starting from Lionized Watch in Act 6, you'll be able to find Faustus, who can help facilitate these trades. Now, after almost a year of building, Johan is finally satisfied with the upgrades made to the town, and now its services can be used to their full effect. Kingsmarch is going core, but there will be no more town building. As you start running maps in the endgame, you'll start to find different ore veins, which Kalgurin workers can mine for you. The shipping mechanic invites you to send these ores and crops to Karui and Kalgurin ports, and they'll return rewards in kind. By sending shipments, you'll receive different items, but by sending to Karui ports, you will also receive tattoos, which can be used on your passive tree to change what stats they grant. The Kalgurin ports will be sending back rune grafts, which is a new passive tree mechanic that replaces the runesmithing service previously offered by the town.
What?
These are similar to tattoos, but instead of replacing stat nodes, they replace a passive tree mastery node.
Oh, limited to 1.
For example, Runegraft of the Bound reduces bonuses gained from boots, but increases bonuses gained from gloves. Runegraft of the River has a chance to recover your life to full if you reach low life. And the Runegraft of Time, which has a chance for your cooldown skills to instantly recover from their cooldown, which I will note includes cooldowns on your triggers, just in case you wanted to trigger even more spells. There are many other Runegrafts which cover a wide range of different builds and stats. Some are more common and others
20%
rarer.
more damage for any cockpit.
You can only use one of a given type at a time, but you can use them on any mastery on your passive tree, which can be particularly useful for off-class investment. Isla has continued to make modifications to the Recombinator. She has developed a new method of recombination that you may recognize from Path of Exile 2. For those unfamiliar, this method allows you to decide which modifiers on the 2 input items you want to try merge together, and it has a success chance you can see.
Oh shit, 7%.
This method can result in the items being destroyed. However, it is a good option to use when trying to create items with fewer mods to use as crafting projects. Given the existing recombinating mechanic was very powerful for top-end crafting, we didn't want to remove it. We have kept it, and you can now choose to use it the old way or the new way. By letting fate decide, it will combine the two items randomly. There is no risk of destroying either item, but it will be less predictable. As Settlers is now a core mechanic, we've also added Atlas passive tree support. For example, if you wanted to gather more Verisium ore, you could take this notable. Each ore has a similar node.
Okay.
Refiner's Bargain converts items dropped by possessed monsters into thaumaturgic dust, sulfite into random ores, and life force into random crops. We've also added a set of Kalguran scarabs, so you can add more ore deposits, increase the rarity of monsters that guard ore deposits to at least magic, or gather smelted bars from ore you mark instead of ores. To sum it all up, Kingsmarch is now a thriving town where you can employ a swath of workers to collect resources, refine ores, craft items, and run maps for you. Send shipments of resources in exchange for tattoos and rune grafts,
I'm surprised I kept
using
that.
those to modify your passive tree to an extent never
Like,
seen
really?
before. Following on from that, we've also made a substantial rework to another important mechanic, Betrayal. As a refresher, and to explain to new players, let's briefly explain what Betrayal is. Betrayal is a mechanic introduced in Act 9 and tells the story of Jun Ortoy and her investigation of the Immortal Syndicate. This is a mysterious group of exiles who can seemingly come back from death. You must help Jun to uncover their leader, the Syndicate Mastermind. The Immortal Syndicate is organized into 4 divisions: Transportation, Fortification, Research, and Intervention. As you encounter the Immortal Syndicate members, you'll gain intelligence for each of these divisions to discover the location of their leaders, tracking them to their safe houses. Defeating the division leaders at their safe houses will reward you with intelligence on the Syndicate Mastermind. In your journey to track down the Syndicate leader, you'll manipulate the members of the Immortal Syndicate to change divisions, form friendships and rivalries, and even banish them from the Syndicate for a time. Historically, after encountering and defeating the Syndicate Mastermind, the state of the Immortal Syndicate would reset, requiring you to start from the beginning of the investigation again. This has always been a difficult decision for players and can often feel bad. Do you fight the Mastermind for a chance at the special loot, or keep farming the safe houses that you've spent so long setting up? Well, in the Secrets of the Atlas expansion, we've split out the Mastermind to be completely separate from the core mechanic. The boss is now accessible through a new fragment that has a chance to drop from the safe house leaders at high levels. The Mastermind no longer resets the state of the Immortal Syndicate.
You can reset if you want, though, yourself.
You can now build your Betrayal board to your liking, optimize it, do Mastermind
Graphicus
fights,
farm all day,
and
baby.
reap the rewards without having to lose all your progress every time.
Graphicus farming all day.
The boss fight itself has also been improved, now with significantly fewer immunity phases and new rewards. By the way, if you're a new player to Path of Exile 1, don't worry about all this detail. This content is optional, and you can discover and engage with it at your own pace.
Okay, dude.
The Mastermind still has a chance to drop a Veiled Orb, now renamed to Veiled Exalted Orb. Veiled Chaos Orbs are being re-added to other safe house leaders. In addition, the Mastermind now drops the new All Flame Embers.
OP!
All Flame Embers are map fragments that replace monster packs and in-game maps with different types of special monsters. These packs have unusual properties, compositions, or rewards. For example, you might use the All Flame Ember of Kulamak, which replaces packs with Syndicate monsters and their leaders, who revive after the map boss has been slain. This might at first sound annoying due to backtracking, but these monsters when revived are far more intense and rewarding.
Seems like it's gonna fucking one-tap
It is
you.
our intention with All Flames to provide many different types that combine with other mechanics, multiplying with your existing modifiers in new and interesting ways.
Yeah, that seems not good for hardcore.
Another good example of this is the All Flame Ember of Propagation. When slain, special rare monsters added by this All Flame here will spread their modifiers to other rare monsters in the map. This can be useful when trying to create singular, very powerful, and very rewarding monsters.
I don't like that.
Something akin to meat sacks, which are making a reinvented comeback with this update too. Another is the All-Flame Ember of Resplendence, which adds monsters that drop no items. But when you slay them, you get buff stacks of increased quantity and rarity to enhance the drops of all other monsters. All-Flame Embers can be placed in your map device like scarabs, and used in conjunction with scarabs to further customize your maps. We're looking forward to seeing which combinations players find to enhance their maps.
God, we got so many items!
Perhaps you'll use all scarabs, all flames, or maybe mix and match. It's up to you.
The Combinatorics,
The Mastermind's unique items have also been improved. The veiled modifiers generated on these items are now from a custom pool exclusive to those uniques.
Bro, the stuff is good.
Bitterbind
is
Point,
fun.
for example, can now have various Spectre-specific outcomes, such as +1 additional Spectre. Aside from improved rewards from the Mastermind, all the Safe House rewards have also been rebalanced. We've done a pass on the crafting sprees at the end of many safe houses. For those who aren't aware how these crafting sprees work, well, it's simple. There's a crafting bench with an item in it and a bunch of currency.
I like that you got more time
There's
now.
a limited
It's
amount
so
of
much
time,
better.
and your only objective is to craft the best item possible
That
before
actually
the
looks
time
fun
ends.
now with more time.
One of the problems that the crafting sprees have is that they often require you to have specific items on hand in order to best maximize your result. But how are you supposed to know that beforehand? In order to solve this, most of the crafting sprees now offer pre-generated items. This has also allowed us to add much more powerful crafting options in each spree. Let's take a look at a few examples.
That's fun.
In this spree,
I might go
a
Betrayal,
randomly
bro.
generated amulet or ring will be waiting for you. Test your crafting skill or luck with this Reflecting Mist crafting spree, and see if you can create something worthy of Kalandra's praise. And in this spree, you will find a pre-generated unique item, and a new kind of orb that resembles a Val orb, but not quite the same. Normally, you can only corrupt an item once, but uniques in this spree can be corrupted and re-corrupted as many times as there are orbs. This orb also allows you to get 2 corrupted implicits, and has a much lower chance to brick the item. It can be a very useful tool for seeking specific corrupted implicit outcomes. Of course, if you push your luck, you can still ruin the item.
Okay.
There are also crafting sprees where you still need to provide an item, but those items are generally more accessible and it occurs less frequently. This one allows you to bring your own normal rarity item, then just go ballistic with a whole ton of scouring orbs and orbs of chance, hoping to get your ideal unique.
Bro, come on. Why
For
couldn't
most
they make the new
sprees,
orb?
the rank of the Syndicate member increases the amount of currency provided, the quality of the pre-generated items, and the time allowed to craft your item. Aside from the crafting sprees, there are other new options too. If you love gambling for currency, how about you try opening Varici's Emperor's Luck chests? These work just like the Emperor's Luck divination card and provide full stacks of currency. If you're lucky enough, unlike me, you could end up with a whole lot of divines. Betrayal is a good source of veiled items. Veiled items have some important quality of life improvements in this expansion too. All of the crafting bench options normally granted by unveiling items are instead now moved to the core game, so you don't need to run Betrayal to unlock them.
That's fucking cool.
They are instead found at the entrances to boss rooms and in-game maps.
Holy.
On top of that, you no longer need to speak to Jun to unveil items. You can just right-click them, or the equivalent on gamepad, and select which veiled modifier you want to unveil.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Overall, Betrayal is now much more streamlined and more rewarding. Happy interrogations.
Shut up!
I reckon everyone's gonna be Betrayal this league. There's so much broken shit with Betrayal now.
Now, before we get into our quality of life additions, let's quickly talk about some character balance. We will be doing our regular character balance changes where we are bringing outliers in line to help evolve the meta, but we are also focusing our attention on buffing some specific things. This includes spellcasting supports that specifically enhance self-casting builds, channeled spells, adding new options to the Guardian, Berserker, Elementalist, Saboteur, and Champion Ascendancy classes, which include some favorites from some of the alternate classes from Legacy of Freesia, and buffing a whole bunch of transfigured gems that never really hit the mark. Combined with the new endgame crafting, improved Betrayal crafting options, rune graphs for your passive tree, new pinnacle unique items, new modifiers and Trathan gems from the mercenaries, and of course the mercenaries themselves to act as an extension to your character, it's safe to say there's a lot of new character options and builds to think about. Instead of delving into all of these in more detail, we figured we'd just let you absorb them through the patch notes so you can do it at your own pace. In the Secrets of the Atlas expansion, we've also added a lot of the quality of life features that we know you've all been asking for.
Okay.
A lot of these have already been posted, but let's take a look
I
now
want
in
a
case you
currency
missed
tab in my bag.
You can now pause the game at any time by pressing escape to open the menu, or by opening any full screen interface,
Let us
like the
lock
passive
items
tree.
in the bag.
You'll also be paused if any lag is detected or if you disconnect.
Okay.
It's worth noting that in certain Pinnacle arenas, a debuff will be applied to you that prevents you from pausing.
Okay.
We're also making a change to how you use currency items on strongboxes and monsters imprisoned in essences. Based on the currency in your inventory and the state of the strongbox, these buttons will appear. Valuable currency like divine orbs have been excluded from this as it would often be wasteful to use in this context. The same applies to essences with the remnant of corruption currency. Orbs of Horizon have been updated. They can now re-roll your Elder and Conqueror
So
Guardian
nice.
maps.
So nice.
Doing so will re-roll the base map
So nice.
and the Guardian of that map.
Yeah.
The map device now has a small additional inventory. This is particularly useful if you're rolling many maps to run in sequence, or if you want to use varying amounts of scarabs or other map fragments. During breach encounters, all the splinters will be automatically collected and dropped at the end of the breach. On gamepads, we have separated the targeting of monsters and non-monsters, so you are able to target them independently.
Hell yes.
This removes a bunch of frustration when you are trying to interact with objects in the world and monsters are nearby. You no longer have to kill all of them first. Vendor windows will now remember your last search. This is remembered until you log out and is remembered on a per NPC basis.
Your regex buff.
The amount of characters you can type in the search field has
This is
also been
big.
increased.
That's big.
When using currency items, after right-clicking them, it will highlight all other items which that currency can be used on. There are many other quality of life improvements, so keep an eye on the patch notes after this livestream concludes. Alongside the launch of Secrets of the Atlas, we are hosting a competitive event where players will race to be the first to kill
this
the
is
new
legit
pinnacle
just Awaken a
bosses.
League, bro.
The event will take place in the hardcore, solo self-found Mercenaries of Trathus League.
That's me.
We have some interesting
me.
prizes in store for the winners. Keep an eye on the news
It's
in the lead up
literally
to
me.
launch for more details about how the event will work and what its prizes are. Next up, we're going to be talking about our
shit.
new League supporter packs.
Okay.
Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Frisian Magistrate and Crypt Keeper packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Frisian Magistrate series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Frisian Magistrate character effect will bind your character in thorny vines and roses. You can select which parts of the character you want to have covered. Either your entire body, your lower body, or your upper body.
What are those?
As you approach waypoints, it will emit leaves and golden petals towards it. When activating the waypoint, it will create a burst around you. Envelop your weapon in thorny vines and golden flora with the Frisian Magistrate weapon effect. Your weapon will also create a trail to match as you swing, and even comes with its own hit effect when slaying enemies.
Fuck that.
You are the law, while wearing the armor of the powerful Frisian Grand Magistrate. The Spider Blossom Pet activates its defense mechanism, disguising it as an elegant flower when near rare or unique enemies.
Fuck that.
The Frisian Imperial Magistrate back attachment comes in 2 forms. Equip either the Tombstone variant, which will leave tombstones in your honor when you meet your demise, or equip the Cape variant to cause the corpses of slain enemies to become enveloped in rose-thorn vines and blossom with golden
I might
flowers.
fuck with that. Looks kind of cool.
Keep track of how well, or poorly, your ultimatums with the Trial Master have gone with the Trials of Chaos hideout decoration. It will keep track of the total number of waves completed, the total number of ultimatums
Ultimatum Andes,
succeeded,
bro.
or even failed. On top of that, it will track the total number of times you've defeated the Trial Master
That's just
himself.
a little item out of Pee-wee 2, right? Yeah, it is.
The Crypt Keeper Pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. With the Crypt Keeper finisher effect, death itself will tear through into the realm of the living and steal the soul of slain unique enemies.
Okay.
The Crypt Keeper portal effect creates a gateway for lost souls to pass through. Become the true master of the undead by wearing the hallowed Crypt Keeper armor set. It comes with a more armored helmet variant and a creepy mask with a spectral hood.
What the fuck is that?
Looking to have some fun during idle time in your hideout? The Burrowing Bramble Bash hideout decoration will test your reaction speed as you try to whack as many Devourer heads as possible in the shortest time.
Log in!
It also comes with a scoreboard, so you can try to set new records to show off to your friends or just visitors coming to trade.
I can just let chatters come in
Equip
and...
yourself with the Ghostly
that'll
Dead
be
as you
fun,
ride the
actually.
line
Let
between the
Twitch
living
come
and
in
the
and do
dead
it.
with the sacred Crypt Keeper back attachment. The Sacred Archives map device resembles a magical library with the works of scholars that come to life when you open a map. This map device tracks how many of each core league you've completed in in-game maps.
Fucking
These
hell.
packs are now available for purchase on both PC and console, and will remain so during Path of Exile, Mercenaries of Trathus. Additionally, any microtransactions from these supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2. Meanwhile, the Paladin and Penance packs leave the store forever at the launch of the
Don't miss
Mercenaries
out,
of
guys,
Trathus
forever.
League.
They're gone forever.
So now's your last chance to purchase them.
Last chance.
Additionally, the Dawn of the Hunt mystery box will be made available for Path of Exile 1. If you have already unlocked any microtransactions from this box in Path of Exile 2, you will of course immediately have access to them in Path of Exile 1. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, we'll post the full patch notes for Path of Exile,
fucking
Secrets of the
D.
Atlas. With
Ziggy.
release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the news.
Rip, lag, F. It's happening to everyone. It's not just me. It's happening to everyone. It's happening to everyone.
Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to dueling mercenaries,
Bro.
fighting new pinnacle bosses in the endgame, and
They're effing. It's just them. They're just effing chat. Look at their chat. Mark, please.
exploring
Well,
the
at
new
least I got
crafting
through it.
systems and character builds next week. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
I mean, that's a W. That's a W. That's a W. Fix your stream, GGG. No! Yo, what are they doing? Dude, these motherfuckers are so cooked. They fucking streamed at 4K with 8K bitrate.
Welcome back, Exiles, to another...
Uh-oh. Exiles, no! Ziggy, stop!
I expect very large Q&A covering all that we have to cover for Secrets of the Atlas. I am, of course, joined by Jonathan and Mark. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for chatting with us once again.
Always great to have you over.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for being here as well.
yeah.
That's it. There was a lot of...
Yeah, it's a riffing, bro. Everyone's lagging.
I think pressure on this one for you guys. Like, it's been a long time since we've had a big Path of Exile 1 expansion.
Sure.
How did you guys feel going into this, and how do you feel like you've been able to deliver?
I mean, honestly, I'm like pretty happy with where we're at. Like, it isn't a full year of
I'm just trying to. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's somehow it's just
development because obviously PoE2 disrupted things a bit. But the main thing is we're kind of back in action now. We've worked.
Nah, it's just fucked, isn't it?
Out the model for how the studio can function doing the stuff, and ultimately what it required is kind of like merging the team.
It's just fucked. Well. No, hopefully they'll stop.
They will work on both games,
Tell them
not
to stop!
necessarily simultaneously.
Tell them to stop. It's not pre-recorded. No shot.
For a given person, but effectively, we need sort of our best people to be able to work on both games in order to really
Tell them to stop.
make sure that they're good. And so, you know, that effectively means that merge sort of approach is definitely way better. And so now we've kind of got that, and like, you know, now that we're back to sort of fixing deadlines again.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck?
And everything like that, I think it will just like go a lot smoother, and like, you know, I'm pretty happy with, like, you know, effectively that we kind of got our
technical difficulties. Classic. Motherfuckers, man. Yeah, these guys, man. Dude, why are you streaming? What? Whose idea was this? I don't know if you guys saw how bad the bitrate was, but it was heinous. It was heinous during those scenes, and it's because they're running at fucking this ridiculous resolution at 8K bitrate, which is just looks terrible. I was considering midstream going 720, but then I don't know. Then you're relying on Twitch encoding the downscale, which is probably still gonna look shit anyway. It's a Twitch thing too. Website's up. Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I don't want to spoil it. Wait, Twitch is dying. Elon DDoS. Bro, can we start with the fix your server? Yeah, chat. This is kind of nutty. Let me just, while it's muted, we'll just have this while it's fucking fixing. Then we'll see how long it takes. Guys, this is the equivalent of the Awakener patch whenever they released both Metamorph and Awakener. So it's like an expansion to the entire endgame with in-game bosses and mechanics, which is the big dick part. And you're also getting a league on top of it. So it's like it's the big dick one. Just restarting the stream to try a fix. Guys, Vario. Does he work for them now? Or something? I don't get it. They got rid of Bex. They got Vario in this bitch or what? Subathon, you need to fucking calm down. Subathon, dude, no. You need to calm down. No. You gotta stop it and wait like 10 seconds, bro, for it to stop. I'm blaming whoever fucking went. Oh, what's this? Something happening? Yeah, it's not completely off. Yo, come back, please. Clown Week. What? I just do a subathon and Clown Week at the same time? Two birds, one stone. They don't have a YouTube. They only do Twitch. Because they do drops and everything. Dude, they don't need to take it out for this long. Return the stream to attend effect. Return the stream to video effects. Chill, bro. Ripsy point. Dude. Clownathon, bro. One I sub to the Path of Exile. One I sub to Path of Exile. What do you get for subscribers? Oh, we're back. We're back. Oh, wow. Who would have guessed? Going mid 1080p is probably the better idea. Fire whoever did the fucking 4K shit. Jesus. They overloaded their encoding 100%. It's when they introduced the extra sources. The CPU was overloaded. 100p. Guaranteed. Oh, no, I'm joking about the fire, by the way. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic. I don't think you should fire someone.
Hello, folks. We're back with some Q&A for the Secrets of the Atlas.
Not pre-recorded.
A nice big one. We're going to restart. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there, but we're ready to get into a nice, big, long Q&A session here. So I did ask the question that after nearly a year since the last major Path of Exile release, it feels like there's, a fair bit of pressure on this one to be something pretty major, but also to show that you guys still love and care about Path of Exile 1 and have a future for it.
Sure, yeah. So, as I was just saying, like I feel like we've kind of finally got our shit together as a studio now, as I said in the intro. So we've sort of changed our approach. We've we've merged the development teams back together. We've kind of got everyone on one floor in the middle layer, like all the developers. And now we're kind of making it so that, we're effectively moving people, backwards and forwards from PoE 1 and 2 sort of as needed. And that's definitely a much better structure for us because it just means that we get, all our best people can work on, whatever game needs it right now. We've always worked well with kind of the fixed, in the past, sort of with the fixed deadline model where it's we have a fixed deadline, but if we, and what's in the patch depends on what's ready by the time we get there, and I think that's just going to result in a much better experience for players. And so now that we've kind of got that, I mean, this really represents what we can deliver sustainably, what we can deliver in 4 months, and so we'd expect to see this kind of
this is bigger than 4 months though, right? It's not just a league,
as we go forward, and for PoE 1 and 2 as well. So now that things are back, I would say we're kind of back in our stride again. Things should go a lot smoother from now.
In sum, we're back.
That's not
we're back. Yeah, thank goodness.
Okay.
We're back.
I do feel like that. I feel like the reception's been very positive so far, and I've been having a bit of a chance to play around with mercenaries, which are exceeding my expectations in terms of how fun and powerful they are. I feel like you guys have made them really powerful too. So
we've honestly been talking about making a mercenary for probably 5 to 10 years. It's been one of those things.
You've been telling me about it for years.
Yeah, exactly.
It came up with the PoE 2 Rogue Exiles. Came up during Settlers League. I mean, that's just the recent. I mean, a year ago, within the last year stuff.
You guys baited me pretty hard because last league you put out this system where you have these exiles that you send out on maps, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna gear them and all this stuff, and it's like, oh, I can't wait. That's what I've always wanted. And then it wasn't that, and I'm like, oh, now you're never gonna do that because you did this instead. And then literally next league, you do the mercenaries finally. So was it like waiting on something? Was there something that needed to happen there?
I guess it was more just a question of having a good design for how it could work. And, there was a couple of other things. One thing that wasn't really mentioned in the video very much is that the mercenaries do count as half a player for the purposes of drops and monster difficulty. And so that's going to kind of change the calculus a little bit. You're effectively getting 9-player difficulty and loot, which there is some differences to the way that works now. But that's kind of one of those things that if we just added mercenaries without doing something like that, then it would mean that the game would be too easy. So that's why we've kind of got that situation going on.
It means at best, if you're a more bad build, bad character, new player, whatever you want to call that. They're going to carry you probably. Could carry you. And at worst, if you're, the power of 10,000 gods and have infinite everything and screen coverage and DPS, then they're just boosting your loot, right? So there's a flaw there on either side that is just going to be beneficial to every single player. So
it sounds like absolute beautiful chaos, like 6-player party plus 6 exile mercenaries.
Our initial design had it that you could have up to 6 players, or 1 player and I guess 3 players and 3 mercenaries. It was like a mercenary takes a player slot is what we initially.
That was the initial way to think about balance, but I think it wouldn't have been nearly as good because you want the mercenary to be part of your build, kind of feel like it's actually
going to crash the game.
It comes with auras and things like that. Like effectively, that all becomes part of your build at that point.
Legit.
So it's kind of important that you don't have to sacrifice that when you're playing in a party with other people.
Didn't want to have the thing of okay, you join your 3 friends and then whose mercenary gets used.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
do I not get to have my guy now, and I don't get So it's we ended up getting away from that and just going everyone bring the merc, and which results in peak chaos. But it's fun.
It's going to be so laggy,
you
bro.
can also have an animate guardian, and you did tell me that there's changes for that as well.
Yes, of course you can have. In fact, I expect a lot of people to now have your 6-player party with your 6 mercenaries and everyone with them animate guardian, because I mean, how can you add mercenaries and then have a point to say that they don't drop loot when they die, and also not make the same change to animate guardian? However, if they do die in the instance, you can't bring them back. So at least there is still that penalty to having them be weak. So if they just die at the start, they're gone.
Yeah. Until you play another.
It's going to result in a lot more people using Animate Guardian in their build. But now you have to gear up your character, 1 Animate Guardian and 1 mercenary. So we'll have multiple mercenaries technically. So we'll see how the itemization and trade economy goes in that regard. And
yeah, I mean that's kind of cool though. Is like having all that extra demand for gear and. It's a
lot more use for all that shit.
Certainly, like thinking about how I want to keep some of this gear aside for like the potential mercenary I was trying to find and things like that. But that adds a lot to that. But
Wait, does Animate
I did
Guardian...
want to, before we get stuck into some of the new content, just kind of like help ease people who maybe are a little bit worried about the future of Path of Exile just a little bit more. So this is what you hope to be able to deliver every 4 months, and you've got a much more strict kind of like approach to that now, where you were saying to me like, well, if this thing that you're talking about is not ready, then it's not going in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas before you would push the date, I felt.
Exactly, 100%. So we've been in the kind of push the date mindset, I would say, for like a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And in the past, we were never like that. We were way more strict with it, and I think it was definitely beneficial to do that. The issue was it was so hard to develop PoE 2 at the same time when we had all that stuff. So now that we're kind of like in the mode where we can support both with the release frequently, it means we can kind of go back to that model. And as I said, I think it'll just be way better.
I just want to make sure we are always going to be that whole like plus or minus 1 week flexibility, because you have things like
there might be
holidays,
like exactly.
conventions,
right.
clashes with things and all that. So obviously you get that just before we get held to the strict to the day 4 month thing. But you know, yes, it is the goal. 100% you go back to that. I think there is it is very, very important that you have, you know, as a player and a long-term player of a game, of which many of our players are, you have that consistency and you know what to expect, and you can be like, yes, I've played for my month, I've played for my 2 months, I know I can just, you know, stop for 2 or swap to the other game, do that, and then I can know it's going to be coming again in 2 months, instead of that just like
there for me again when I need it.
that like unknown is very sad, honestly, as a developer and as a player, and I certainly don't want to do that ever again.
I imagine it has a toll on the team in terms of them like knowing, because it's hard to make content, I imagine, and just not have it get shipped. Like, because it's the date's being pushed out.
It depends on the person. Some people kind of like actually prefer that more. Some people do really like the deadlines. It's honestly a variety.
Yeah, okay, a bit of a mixture. And you mentioned blending the teams together. That's like a big change, whereas before you were explicitly trying to separate them, and there was the question of like, well, there's problems with that, right?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, we had problems when they were blended originally, like years ago, where PoE 2 wasn't getting, like, you know, it kind of wasn't working because that deadline was so far out that it kind of worked. So we had to split the team to get PoE 2 shipped at that point. But now that we're back in, you know, like releasing frequently, it just makes more sense to bring everyone back together again. And
separate.
It keeps the expertise up. It makes sure that, you know, like the games are, you know, there's just technical things like making sure that the engine is like in sync for both games and that kind of stuff. Like, there's just so many elements that sort of make it better to have everyone merged together, I think.
I imagine it helps with the cross-pollination between games. We just got pausing, which is
for sure
one of my most wanted quality of life improvements. That's a phenomenal announcement. But I certainly see people asking about things like WASD and stuff like that. And this support for the future is...
Unfortunately, WASD just can't really happen because... Well, okay. I say that, but
rigs,
this is the thing, right? So effectively, so in order for WASD to happen, we would need to be able to change the rigs over to the PoE 2 character rigs. In order for that to happen, we need to get all the micros ported over, and then we'd need to port all of the armors from PoE 1 over to those rigs as well. So it would be a really long-term thing. Yeah. There might be a world one day where that can happen, but it's certainly a long process to get that to happen.
That's what I was kind of wondering is, like, do you envision a situation where Path of Exile 1 is, like, warrants that sort of massive effort in a year or two or something like that?
Once we've got all the microtransactions ported, which we're doing anyway, then it wouldn't be like so bad. I mean, it would be a lot, but not like, you know, not like completely unreasonable. So it's a thing that could happen, but it's a lot of effort to get that feature. So the main reason to do it isn't even for WSD. It's because we have been pretty
reverse engineer
unable
PoE 2
to make
and PoE
new combat animations for PoE 1 for so long due to all of the problems with the rigs. So the main reason to do it would be that we can make like new actual melee skills properly again. That would be the reason. So I mean, hopefully we can get to that. It's just it'll take a while though.
A lot of the skills you notice, and if people have been playing PoE 1 for, you know, years, any of the new skills we add often just reuse the same animations.
Exactly.
And they're not exactly the most modern things in the world.
Not so much you can do with it now.
You don't get to do the cool custom flurries with like your swords and combos and all that kind of stuff, and you know. I mean, you still obviously have Cyclone, where you just spin in a circle. You know,
hell yeah, baby!
You remove all the effects from that. You're literally just on a pivot doing this. It looks a little bit silly, but
I mean, I am keen to do it though. Like, it's just it'll take a while.
Yeah. It's I feel like I notice the kind of an increasing disparity between like the bosses in PoE 1 kind of like pushing further ahead because you have a bit more freedom, I guess, to use more modern.
Well, the bosses are new, like new content, right? So they get to just and the engine's the same, so you get to use all the modern tech for completely new content.
So they're looking like better and better and better, but the players are kind of staying behind. So
don't need to rig anything to the bosses. They don't need to equip 10,000 microtransactions, thankfully. You know,
so that's a unique challenge for you, but it seems like you've got a plan of kind of like how to approach it potentially.
Sure.
Yeah, all right. So,
Just
while
put
we're on this
Western
kind of,
and
like,
you
frank
can't use
discussion is, like,
MTX.
something that people often have been mentioning is this idea that, like, maybe they love Path of Exile 1, but they're not that interested in Path of Exile 2. And they maybe feel like their money when they buy a supporter pack for Path of Exile 1 is going to a company that's developing both games, and one of those being something that they're maybe not that interested in.
Right. Well, I mean, like ultimately, you know, like now that we're kind of in the shared model, like it's kind of. It doesn't really, it's sort of hard for us to say, like, you know, that like money goes to one particular team or another. Like, it doesn't really work like that because we're all merged. The main thing is just to understand is that when we're in PoE 1 development mode, then PoE 1 takes precedence, and like any resource that it needs, like there's not going to be we can't do this because PoE 2 needs it. And when we're in PoE 2 development mode, it's like, it's the opposite of that, right? Where like we've got that sort of going on. So there's always going to be people working on each game, like all the time. But it's like, if one's going to come out soon, that one is getting all the attention. And so like every resource that PoE 1 could possibly need for this expansion was moved to it, if, you know, to make that happen.
Yeah, I got to see that firsthand walking around. It was like 95% of people working on PoE 1 right now.
Right,
like,
in this moment, because it's in the last week. But yeah, it's kind of variable. Like, if you look at things like the, you know, I mean, you've probably got a better idea of the breakdown. But it's like how much of the VFX team was working on PoE 1 versus 2 in like the last, you know.
Yeah, the whole, all but 1 is currently on PoE, all but 2. I guess that doesn't really make sense. They don't know how many. So 80% of the team is on PoE 1 right now.
Yeah, yeah. But it's kind of variable through the months.
But like, you know, the dynamic thing is because obviously we had like 021 for PoE 2 that we're working on, and like yesterday I moved some people onto that, quickly got some stuff across the line, literally 2 hours later moved them back, and like it's like pretty hyperactive.
Right.
Sounds kind of schizo.
But honestly,
right?
that's kind of how our leadership style is. We kind of just
raw dog it, bro.
Crazy.
But I also think that developing 0 to 1 at the same time is kind of proof that it's possible. You know, like to make sure that we can actually support both games.
How
at
many
the same
bugs are
time.
going to be in the shit?
With the level of support we need. I mean, you know, there's those videos even that were made by the, you know, like we're getting more people. It's like we can kind of manage it. So you know,
I do feel like this is a positive upswing in that regard. Like it was definitely a bit of wavering there for a while. But I went from a 1-game studio to a 2-game studio.
One thing to note, and this is you say about the bosses going up and the characters, you know, saying this, like that is also because we are, you know, it is very, very, very useful in the same sense that certain game features get taken from one game to another. Like we see a lot of the quality of life stuff come to PoE 1. Those bosses are, you know, animated or rigs from PoE 2 that we have like fully remodeled and reskinned. So you get to reuse that entire animation set. Sure, you got to tweak some stuff, but then like you can have one animation be 8 different skills if you know, put your mind to it and actually design the different outcomes.
Awesome.
So you end up with this thing where, you know, we're actually harvesting a lot of materials back from PoE 2 to 1. And this is how we're going to be able to get even more bosses, even more monsters, even more of that content just all the time. So
as long as they feel different and not reskinned.
Like it's really
I mean, you wouldn't. Some people might be able to say, oh, "Wait, I feel like I've seen that before." Maybe, but you'd have to look real close and be real into it.
Yeah.
And so obviously, I know me saying it removes the allure of it.
Don't say that.
It is like ultra beneficial to be able to harvest all that art. And so you could look at it as like, oh, that PoE 2 art is going on PoE 2. It's not. Like all of that, I'm just constantly going, I'm going to take that, take that, you know.
And the tech as well, of course, right? Like any new renderer features we're making, like all that stuff, like, you get to use it all.
So hopefully it's more of a positive thing. But I think to wrap it up, I think what it all really comes down to is people just want to know that they can feel confident that Path of Exile 1 has a future where you guys love it and giving it the attention that it deserves.
The next year is going to be the year of Path of Exile, 100%, right? I mean we're talking, every 4 months, both games? It's every 2 months, 6 releases.
6 releases a year.
Wild.
6 releases a year, that's going to be
If you guys can pull that off for a year, that's going to be wild. I'm looking forward to it. But I mean, and to allay people's concerns, I guess, in that regard, is you were telling me that this expansion is like this is part of a multi-season story arc that you're saying.
100%. Like with obviously you there's a whole bunch I can rant about here, but effectively, obviously you see Zana coming back. I know, spoiler, sorry, but it kind of was important.
Yep.
You know, you got Zana coming back, and you've got you know, it's an additive storyline for now, and that was kind of on purpose because I wanted the end game to be still familiar. I wanted people, after coming back after almost a year, to still have the core of the end game be familiar, but have this additive layer on top that's cool and new and they can explore. And I didn't want to like completely rework all the mechanics, and people are like, I want PoE 1, finally a PoE 1 expansion. They come back and they're like, the hell is this end game? This isn't what I remember. This isn't what I was familiar with. So it was really important with this update to have a layer of familiarity across the board, and then like improved and reworked things and removing, obviously with Betrayal, we've removed a lot of the constraints and annoyance and all of that, but it's still mostly just additive stuff on top. Same with the end game. The League is obviously additive, the mercenaries. So having that there, so there's that core Path of Exile 1 familiarity was important for this one. But yes, it is like part one of a new arc of the end game storyline. Zana's back. We've got a whole new thing to explore. I'm not going to spoil too much of what exactly happens, but there's some cool shit in there. But effectively, it's like a way to think about it is we're now kind of we're going to, over obviously a relatively long time, have the era of the primordials kind of phase out and have the era of this new endgame phase in. And so, yeah, it's kind of set up for, right now it's an additive one. Maybe the next endgame one would be a bit more transformative, and then we'll go from there and just explore through this new storyline. So that'd be fun.
I can tell you're excited for like the future of PoE 1, which is this is a good shift, I think. And you were saying you've even got like a good idea that for 326 that you really want to.
327, yes.
Oh, sorry, yeah, next one.
I do, yes. So like another thing with like this expansion, right, is like it's quite content heavy. When you do an in-game expansion in a league, it's a lot of content.
Yeah.
So like, you have some things have to take priority, other things have to take less priority, and so like the character stuff where we've done, a decent chunk of character balance and the new systems interact with all of that. There's clearly ones like, I know Settlers had like just the Giga Melee rebalance and rework, and it changed like 1,000 systems in drastic ways and all of that. But again, I wanted this time more familiarity, and then 327, we're going to go just ballistic on the characters and do as much as we possibly can to like, amp that up and, I don't know, maybe fully revamp wand builds and create a whole new thing there. And now we have to because I said that. But, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, obviously you have ones that are more content-centric, ones that are more character balance-centric, and different focuses like that. So this one, content, in-game. We wanted our core players who have been playing for 10 years, the ones that are really looking for PoE, who are like mostly playing in the end game, to really have that like expansion and new boss fights. And
that was a discussion we had yesterday, actually, was this idea that you don't necessarily have to worry about new player onboarding as much for Path of Exile 1 now, but that's more the focus for PoE 2.
I would definitely say that, yeah, for PoE 1, it's like it's now very easy to just say, you know what, like if this isn't new player friendly, it's okay. Like we're making a game for the experienced PoE 1 players, so like we can just go ham with all that stuff.
Yeah, you can kind of go nuts with it.
Like if you're a new player, then PoE 2 is obviously going to be more appealing. Like I'd imagine they're more likely to want to go there. But of course, PoE 1 still, like it's still a like we're not going to throw that away completely. You can onboard them at PoE 2, and then they go to PoE 1. The content, like a lot more sort of in-game stuff, the pinnacles, obviously, and things like that. Like this is stuff that appeals to someone who actually is able to get to that content. So, yeah. Of course, you've still got the leagues. The mercenaries. I think you initially, when we first told you about it, you seemed a little bit like, oh yeah, I don't know how big that's going to be. But then when you actually played it, it's like, it's quite a thing.
Yes, it was beyond what I expected playing it. Because I brought up a concern after watching the reveals that I felt like there was a bit of a gap, some disparity in kind of what you revealed once I got the sense of like what was Secrets of Atlas versus Mercenaries of Trathis. I had some concerns. I was like, okay, so the Mercenaries thing seems like really awesome, and that kind of is like, by the time you get to endgame, you've kind of started to explore a lot of that. And, there's still more progression beyond that, but that's like, it's not necessarily like a ton of new content for that mechanic beyond that. And then you've got this new Secrets of the Atlas system, which starts at tier 14. It's very endgame pinnacle content focus. So I'm like, it feels like there's kind of a gap there between tier 1 and 14. But you mentioned yesterday after that discussion that maybe you've changed it.
I initially was like, people are coming back after a long time. They're going to come back, and yeah, some people have been playing, but like the majority of people haven't, and they're going to come back, get to that end game, and be like, all right, let's get my footing back, refigure things out. Obviously, Settlers is there, but I understand a lot of people have experienced that in the last year, so that's not going to feel too new, but there's a little bit going on there. You've obviously got Betrayal, and then yes, we have our whole like certain scarabs up, certain scarabs down kind of balance, which I will note, by the way, only a portion of which will be in the initial set of patch notes. We'll have more scarab changes coming soon.
Expansions to be announced.
People who, ideally our PoE 1 players know by now, we get a little bit feral and we just go to the end. We go till Friday of the release date for our balance changes, so not everything is there, but a lot of it is. There's all those changes, and I thought, yeah, it's all good. What we'll do is aim for the people who really want new pinnacle fights. Like, when we added the T17s, they were a bridge between pinnacle and uber pinnacles. So they weren't even the kind of highest tier of difficulty in the game.
Legit.
And you could argue these aren't either because they're pinnacles, but they are a step above.
I
the
legit
existing
haven't
pinnacles.
felt
They are a
passion
bit
since I
harder.
went 707.
That being said, of course, just to clarify, there is a quest version of them where it is you get to tier 14s and you will find them deterministically and get through 3 of them, all 3 of them, just for the narrative. You get to explore all that. They're easier balance. And then you get into farm mode where you get the true rewards and the true, difficulty test. But as you pointed out, I thought that'd be all right. And then you did raise your but what about between tier 1 and 14? It's not going to feel very new. And it was like,
yeah, where's the content?
Yeah, fair enough. We made some changes, of course, and as much as now in the live stream it says we're introducing it at high tier maps, that is where the story is introduced, so to speak. But we're now adding a bunch of trickled stuff beforehand, all the way from tier 3 maps, where you're now you're finding those memory influence maps, or the influence by the originator, as it said. You're getting the memory strand items, which are very useful for actually finding good item drops and crafting as you're going through the end game. And so you're getting that all the way through. And then, once you get to the higher tier maps is when you get into the actual pinnacle storyline with the new 3 pinnacle bosses. Look, straight up, it was just like what we thought was good oversight, but this is always what happens. I think even Jonathan mentioned earlier is that often, when we have these podcasts and interviews, it's just half the time we end up discussing stuff that we're then going to go and change the day after.
Come on, Ziggy!
And that's exactly
control clicking items
to
lock them in your inventory, bro.
There's so much that to not and happening so rapidly and coming together very much all together at the end. It's impossible to really have your eye on everything and not miss some things. Even we often miss things, and then it goes live, and then we address it then as well, and stuff like that, right? It's just very, very, very crazy. But again, that's I kind of think that's the magic to it, and what allows us to do so much in so little time. But it is also the thing as well that's going to result in the 6 expansions coming in the next year for the combined games. So
so now the state of it looks like veteran players are going to be exploring the mercenaries as they're leveling up. They're going to be going into the end game and kitting out, trying to find their ideal mercenaries, gearing them up, swapping them around, starting to interact with memory packs of enemies that drop memory influenced maps, that drop memory influenced items that they can craft, which I'm excited about that as a progression, that crafting system with the boosted craft. And that was, you mentioned a way of kind of getting the tiering system into Path of Exile 1.
The initial idea there was how can we get the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 item drops from PoE 2 system into PoE 1, and it was why don't we just do it in the new in-game system? And then we're we can have more granularity. It can go all the way from 1 to 100. There's not really much point not. And so you're finding better items. Every time you pick up these items, it could have a set of full tier 1 modifiers. So that was the initial goal. And then, it was may as well. The crafting orbs can just consume it as well.
Tell me the loot filter can discern that.
Now, it's worth getting into that specifically. The basic crafting orbs all consume it. And right now, we don't have fossils and harvest and stuff do it, but it is our intention to implement that. But it's a bit scary. There's some OP there for sure, but I really like all those systems interacting and interweaving. Now, what we're finding right now is that you actually do that crafting first, then you consume the memory strands for the final exalts and final applications. And that is something that is happening internally, and you're getting some pretty insane outcomes there to guarantee a T1 mod on your final exalts and stuff like that. But if we were to do it the other way around, you'd probably end up having it be very much using all those systems. So before we turn that on, obviously we're going to review every single thing and make sure we're definitely happy with everything, because it is a very complicated web of craziness.
Actually, that was a question I was wanting to ask, was how do you even make new crafting systems for PoE 1 at this point? With all the various intricate... do you just kind of make it and
you just
cross your fingers?
You just have to effectively just take the chance and just come up with what you can do.
Game anyway,
if you worried about literally everything, you'd never make anything, So you have to on some level.
But it's the same with uniques. It's the same with new character systems. There's so many variables that you kind of just here's a thing.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, exactly.
That's kind of broken. Great.
It's fun though. It's just fun.
So you've got this progression system now, which sounds phenomenal. That sounds like a really nice improvement to while we're exploring the various changes you've done to things like the massive overhaul to Betrayal, for example, and the new Scarabs, those new systems, the integration of the previous content that's gone core. And then you get to tier 14, and then it's new story kicks in with the Secrets of the Atlas, the memory system, and that uses the kind of like the idea of those memory threads.
Yeah, we had what was memories before.
Yeah.
So that was like there was Alva's memory and all of that, and they had kind of different things. You couldn't juice them, but some of them gave pretty specific rewards, and a bunch of them were absolutely
The
nothing.
lack of juicing kind of meant that they didn't really have a good place in the end game, though.
Yeah,
I like them.
So
I like them.
We were like, we didn't really give that system justice, so like let's kind of use that as the baseline for the new memory threads, except we 100% allow full juicing.
Yep.
And make them more unique, have the alter mods at the end of each run, and then have the new influence mechanic. And then what we did is we took all those memories and we were like, I think it was Octavian actually who suggested it, was like,
good job.
Put all those on Kirak. And so all the Kirak missions that can now be offered, since Kirak also couldn't be juiced, Kirak missions now can give you all of the things that appeared on those memories before, which gives him a unique thing that he didn't have before as well, and it can be more valued farming that. So 2 birds, 1 stone.
Some love. That's
good suggestion.
Thanks, Octavian.
And
nice Kirak, my fun.
But yeah, effectively those, and then we're like, those memory strands, we don't want it to just be I'm doing normal mapping, then you find the memory. We've already tripped up now, and this is the thing we were talking about yesterday with all the terminology.
Memory threads versus memory strands.
The memory threads. Again, once you're playing, it's a bit more clear, but we've got a bit of synonym thesaurus issues going on. You're doing the memory threads, and it's like, well, we want to be able to do that experience without just having to go, okay, I don't want to have to run a bunch of maps, get a thread, have some fun, and then, I'm back to just, regular things. So we're like, well, once you finish the storyline, I won't explain exactly how that concludes, because it's a big one. What those maps that you can find on that thread now will start dropping but it's T16s, and more frequency, and then but they will be rolling with Tier 17 mod pool, and we're kind of calling those T16.5s because they are very close to T17s, and it's kind of honestly, I would say in some cases, if you get the right memory skills, better than T17s, which I know has been a huge concern, and I agree with that, and I am finally, hopefully, we can not have just the age of T17s that can't self-sustain and you have to trade for, and a lot of frustration there. That's the hope. If it doesn't fully solve it, obviously it's still the intention to. So we will.
Well, let's talk about the problem with Tier 17s then. So, like, obviously, there's a few issues going on there. It seems like that you had this like very varied endgame, tons of different maps and everything, and then kind of narrow that down to 4 maps instead. And obviously, it was presenting problems for build diversity as well.
It was also a clash because it was like those were meant to be the bossing way to get to the Ubers.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the juicing. And so then you have a kind of economy clash between people who want to farm bosses and people who want to juice. And it was like, okay, well, they were intended to be the boss way. Whoops. But they were still kind of fun for both axes, in some regard, minus a few little bits and pieces. Like, obviously, we had to do some changes to the mods, how they generated. Like, we certainly had some hiccups with that one the first time around. But it was then all of a sudden now T16s are dead,
Yeah.
So the hope here, bring them back. You can farm the map you want as with the originator influence on it, I believe is what the text said, or what I call memory influence or Zana influence. All of these things, whatever. They're influenced with a bunch of red and blue stuff. You get the pedals, you get the skills, but you get the div card you want, you get to farm the layout you want, you get to do the boss you want, and you don't have to deal with,
Can you say somewhat definitively if like juicing is going to be happening at Tier 16s again, or is it still going to be Tier 17s a bit? Not sure.
Just delete T17s.
Currently, as far as I can tell, it should be in the 16s, but I didn't want to make it that the 17s are just garbage.
Yeah.
I think, especially with the right memory influence skills appearing, which you do have to take a bit of a gamble for, and sometimes you get really good ones and sometimes you get okay ones. That's part of the fun when you get it and you're like, oh, yes, I got the epic one that revives monsters and I get all the loot twice. And then when you get that kind of thing, it's going to be like, okay, this is just 100% better. Like, how was it not? And then, of course, multiply that with all the All Flames and, there's going to be some madness occurring. Not Necropolis tier madness, but there will be madness. We have learnt from that a bit. Don't you worry about that. That was out of control on a level unprecedented. But still new tiers of madness.
There's a
Oh, is
question
that
from
that
chat
dog
about,
shit
Atlas
graveyard
skill tree
thing?
with expanding,
Ooh.
like with all these new things being added to
Oh,
it.
it
Is
was
that something you
such a
consider
bad
as to, like,
league.
how many points you end up getting and those decisions like between things?
I like the amount of points you get and the amount you can invest in a given tree loadout. I think that is correct.
Still feels right.
Like we have also
league mechanic
we
was
do
bad.
remove
The
a little
league
bit of
itself was
nodes and we
okay,
have
but-
added some, but I
The league
wouldn't-
mechanic
like
was-
we've
ugh.
added new ways to juice via the influence. We've added new ways to add more things to the all flames and stuff like that, and there's new multiplicative things going on there. I wouldn't also then want to just be like, here's another plus 20% on the tree as well. I think that choice matters. I like that choice matters, and I think you should have to give up something to get something of the new thing, or have one of your loadouts focus on that and two of the others focus on something else. So
Well, something else that sounds like it's going to help is you mentioned to me this idea that you might be getting more access to the content from the investment nodes that you're taking anyway via scarabs, right? Scarab drops.
Oh
on
yeah,
nodes.
yeah, true. I mean, it was more of a SSF feature, but it will work for everyone. But both the map device where you apply like Breach League and a bunch of the nodes on the Atlas tree that are like, chance to have breaches in your maps, both also now increase the chance of you getting scarabs of that league's type. Which is kind of how PoE2 did it as well with their leagues, where
Play the content to get the
you
content.
get expedition to get more expeditions.
Great.
It's the same thing here. We just wanted to push that a bit more, give a little bit more agency, and influence the scarabs you're getting. That way, you're getting more of the ones you want, because there are a lot of scarabs, of course, and you can block a decent chunk of them, and you can invest in some others. And we're just like more agency is better here, like straight up. So may as well, and it just simply adds more value to the map device craft. So why not?
All right. I know we're jumping around topics a lot here, but let's just kind of be in the flow of things. But on the mercenary topic, so you've designed these guys to be so good that everyone's going to want to use one, right? And that's like the right way to design it objectively. But it does raise the question as to you need to make sure that they're not abrasive to use, that they're fun to use, that there's not necessarily problems where you feel like, oh, I have to use them. So how do you go about making sure that that's the case for these guys?
I mean, obviously them increasing the difficulty, is a thing that says maybe you don't want to necessarily, maybe they're not pulling their weight on a boss fight, and stuff like that, making it actually harder because of the
Or
life.
if you don't have the right mercenary,
or if
maybe.
you don't have the right mercenary, you don't have the right gear on them. These are factors. However, generally they should be fun to have with you. You should want to engage with it. That is the league. If you're not playing in the league, or you don't want to engage with the league as much, you still got the end game. You still got betrayal. You still got.
I'm worried about them being dead
settlers,
DPS and
all that
dying a
stuff
lot.
is all still there. The character balance changes. Everything's still there. It's just
forcing some war cuck every time.
Ideally, you'd want to engage with the mercenaries. They are generally more beneficial than not. You would have to really over-level them and not be upgrading them for them to start being kind of useless.
But the item and combat mechanic with them by itself is also like, even if you're not hiring a mercenary, there's still like, there's a source of items there. There's new things like mechanics that they've got going on with that. So like even that part is a thing in itself.
Well, something I didn't realize from watching it and then even playing for a while was that, and I think the UI is getting improved by launch for this, but when they have like the currency pocket, when you don't actually pick a currency from that, they give you all the currency from that window.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like so. It was a bit juicier than I thought it was, actually. It kind of caught me by surprise.
Yeah. Why not? But it was interesting creating a, there's not many leagues where you get one reward.
Yeah.
And obviously not the currency pouch, but you
pick a item,
picking a single piece of gear.
Yep.
And so we had to really think like, okay, I mean, you can see it, so you already get a pick from all the different slots. But it was like, how do we make sure that their gear is comparable to what a player would have, which is kind of you're identifying many and picking the best, and you're crafting a thing. And so it's always better than average. And so we had to really think about what their gear should and what their items should look like. To be comparable to something you would actually want or have. So yeah, it's rare to have a league where you actually only just get one item. Like even Ultimatum, sure you get one and many rounds in a row, so you still get up to 10, whereas this is just actually one.
So you have to make sure it's good, right?
Yeah, and that was actually kind of complicated to do, but there's some pretty powerful stuff you can get from that. I mean, obviously the uniques are relatively easy to put in, but they do affect the mercenaries in some pretty crazy ways. But the rare items and stuff like that, yeah, it was a little bit complicated to actually get that to feel good, such that you feel like, I actually want to take that as opposed to just always taking the currency. But if you want to do that, go ahead as well.
Was there any kind of, just out of curiosity, was there any kind of thought on like as to what sort of items or what sort of mods they roll on their items then? Since they're like, they are kind of specific builds.
Yeah, kind of. It is relative to the build more so, yes.
Yeah.
Like, there are like 30-something different archetypes. So we talked about like the Striker and I can't remember the names of Eruptor and stuff, but there are like 30-something of them. And, there's a Chaos Mage and there's ones with curses and ones with auras and ones with... I'm obviously listing all the utility stuff because I know it's the aura bots of Trathus really is probably how a lot of people are going to see it.
No aura, exiled.
But actually, there's a lot of custom skills in there. They're not entirely player skills.
Yeah,
I know we touched on the Trathus skills, but we only showed this. I feel there's maybe around 16 of them. Some of them
and
are
you can
cool.
get those, right?
They can just be in their little pouch. And you can
just take one.
You can pick them, and when if you defeat them, they drop it, and you get it, and that's a new. So it's kind of like a transfigured gem in a way, but it's a Trathan gem, and it's just so that's a way of delivering a bunch of new skills. And I know you have like Blood Storm Call, which is like physical that creates a blood dot. So you maybe want to add, so there might be some builds that want to do that. There's like new spectral shield throws and a whole bunch of different things. We saw the Siege Ballista in the live stream.
Melee skills, boy.
There's certainly a whole bunch of them.
What are melee skills?
I know there's a kind of incinerate-based blast ray. Blast rain was it? Yeah, like arrow comes down, does a wave of
melee?
Almost like an incinerate wave out of it and stuff like that. So like,
had some fun with that.
Spoiling a bunch of them, but it's only 4 or so. But yeah, there's heaps of different skills there, which is pretty cool. But then they also just have like kind of high cooldown and different passive skills and stuff like that as well. So like, there's a lot of stuff.
Should have put more of those in the video, honestly.
Yeah, possibly. Probably. Yeah. And there's probably some surprise and cool stuff for people to find. It was a 42-minute presentation. Like it's all right. Give a taste. Let people find a lot of cool stuff on live. So,
in terms of making them fun to like manage and hire and things like that, if you'd asked me before playing it, I would have said like, oh yeah, you want to be able to like spend some sort of passives on them or something like that. But then actually after playing it, I was like, oh, it's kind of good that you didn't go to that level because then there's no lock-in with them. You can change between them easily.
Would have been a bit annoying. I think.
Yeah, and a bit too much tedious upkeep.
Low micromanagement on this. So like doing the gear, but you won't have to do that too often. They don't level up. They don't have like they have a passive tree behind the scenes. You just don't get to see it or engage with it.
I wasn't actually sure. Was that implementers actually allocating individual nodes?
No. They have a Trathan passive tree.
Okay.
Secret proprietary.
Yeah. I mean, look, they gain stats as they level up, and it's kind of relative to the archetype, and there's some stuff going on. But you don't need to care about that. It's just
okay.
As far
We don't
as you
need
know,
to care
they're
about
higher
it,
level.
Mike.
They've made somewhat intelligent decisions about their passive points and whatnot. And they're pretty good. Of course, some are better than others. Some will be good for your build. Much like you will have, here's the meta ascendancies for a league. Probably each meta ascendancy then has the meta mercenary for the league and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it'll be
I'm going to be a meta mercenary later.
It's going to be pretty crazy.
I'm going to make the Enab build, bro.
As much as it's pretty simple to just arrange them, there's going to be a lot of little minor complexities.
That's poor path of building, guys.
I was going to say, like, are they going to have to implement some interesting...
They're definitely going to be a part of your build, so it's got to go in there.
Yeah, 100%.
They can give you auras and various other buffing skills. I had a Templar that had like an aura, and he had the Smite with the lightning aura.
Your meta build, then for that you need your 3 meta mercenaries, and then your meta animate guardian, and then you've got oh my god, too many. I mean, at least a lot more items will be getting put to use, so that's good.
I'll be curious to see how the Animate Guardian feels, because, I don't know, like, that one has, obviously, the skill gem cost as well, potentially, like, supports and things like that.
Yeah, of course. But,
so that's obviously a bit more of a tax, whereas these guys are just a free add-on on top. They don't cost you anything except gold.
I mean, gold.
Yeah, gold. Which was, you intentionally didn't go for an upkeep cost for them, which I noted.
Yeah, I mean, you already earned there. You still got to pay them a little bit, but you defeated them. You don't need to pay them by the hour anymore.
There's a gold cost if they die, which I found I had a couple die early on, but then they were mostly, especially if I picked good ones, they were staying alive. Like I had one guy that was ridiculously tanky, and then some of them had like 4k life, and this guy had like vitality and enduring cry and kind of like a fizz aura and immortal call and things like that. I'm like, oh yeah, these guys are kind of better than me.
That's true. Often you might find yourself aspiring to become more like a mercenary.
Yes.
But look, these are trained fighters from a ruthless place in Trathus, and they've come here and they're like, what are all you weaklings doing? And so
highlighted text blocks.
Yeah, it was quite confronting when I was like doing my usual running through mud flats with my ranger in a Hessian sackcloth clothing, and then I run into literally the ranger one. and they're like wearing, Giga MTXs, and they got like all these different supported skills, and they're like comboing them together. And I'm like, whoa.
It's giving you something to aspire to. This is what I can become. Whoops.
I felt really good when I fired them later.
Remember, they came here of their own choice. They haven't been exiled here as a criminal.
They advertising MTX to players.
I have to say, they kind of feel like suckers.
That's what they do.
This whole code system, right? That says that if a challenger comes and challenges them, they have to wager literally one of the pieces of clothing they're wearing, of the challenger's choosing, and the challenger doesn't have to put up anything. Like, you don't have to wager anything of yourself. Like, I feel like in a previous Path of Exile, we might have like. You're like, oh yeah, you have to gamble your item.
But if you remove the game mechanic from the equation and you go, okay, let's say you and I have a duel and I get to take your shoes, and my sacrifice is I have to die. I don't think that's a fair trade. Now,
but this is in a world where you can revive.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Okay, fair enough. Good
and
point.
like honestly, if I have to go like your shoes versus my 15% experience, like I don't know if I'm gonna.
Pretty nice boots.
Yeah, sure, but like that's part of my level I just lost. So like I don't know if I'll take that trade.
Yeah, well, you got me there. That's a good point. We'll get some more questions about the mercenaries there. Do mercenaries count as minions, has been asked?
Oh, I said 15%, and I realised that is not correct.
Oh, what was the...
I'm just making up numbers.
Oh,
No. Ignore me. I know that's the wrong number.
No. What have you done? That's going to be quoted.
I just quickly glanced at chat, and I'm like, oh, geez, I said I just made something up on the spot in the heat of the moment. Don't worry about me.
The question was, do mercenaries count as minions for the purpose of various minion-based things? Like
they don't count as a semantic minion for like minion damage and all of that. But I know, for example, all the how there's bosses and they have certain skills because they're less avoidable. They deal less damage to your minions. They also count as they also get that damage reduction from those things because like they're not like going there's an AOE here, I'm getting out of it, and they're going to jump back in like you are. They're just going to soak the damage, and so we've made it so obviously they don't take as much damage from those unavoidable attacks, so to speak, and much like how your minions do and whatnot. But again, they are pretty tanky. So on top of that,
on that same spirit of like live improvements happening as we're talking about it, it's like yesterday I was asking kind of can you heal them with like the minion flasks or something like that to like heal them in between combats, and later I got a message saying that you guys have changed it so that they heal out of combat now.
Yeah, it was taken from the it's something I actually really like that the minions do in PoE 2, where when there's some downtime, they kind of regenerate back to full life. So that change was made yesterday actually, and so now the mercenary, you don't have that thing where you have to give it some life regen, and like explored a few different options, but it was just like what. Just like if there's a little bit of downtime, or it's more if they haven't lost life in the last some amount of time, they just whoop back to full life. So
love it. It's just good quality of life. Yeah,
you don't just have them sitting at 10% life, and you're like, what am I supposed to do here?
So they can be brought into pinnacle content is one of the other questions I'm saying.
Of course. Anywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere in the game.
No restrictions on that.
Yep.
Nice, cool. And people seemingly from the question, based on the questions, don't believe that you can have like a 6-person party and have 6 mercenaries. That you wouldn't allow that. That's too crazy. I mean, it is too crazy. But
it's going to crash the instance.
Right?
We do.
Yeah, we do.
They're going to have to have minions that like.
Okay.
I mean,
don't use attacks at chain and stuff.
It's a lot of auras.
Otherwise, it'll lag the game out 100%.
But I'm very much looking forward to playing my. Everyone knows I play my support characters, and you'd expect you're a support character, so you can get a DPS merc now and not have to play with your friends. But I'm thinking, well, hold on, I can be a support character and have a support mercenary and support my friends even more. So like, it's all win.
That sounds about you. Perfect. I mean, while leveling, I certainly felt like the DPS ones were viable if I was playing more of a supportive role, or if I was like struggling in that regard. They did seem like they were actually able to kill things. Is that something that can happen in an endgame though? Like that seems hard to believe.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can give them Headhunter, you can give them all of that stuff, and they take the damage, they scale it. Like, the only thing they don't have is, your skill, which could be bad, and thus they could be better than you, or you could be very good, and in which case, I'm just saying, like, they are still a computer. right? They are still at the end of the day doing that, so they might not make the smartest decisions that you agree with.
There's like custom AI for each skill,
There,
right?
there is 100%, and
So they're a bit above the 50 percentile of players.
yeah, they might be.
What you're saying?
I'd say around 55% just percentile average. You know,
Better than half you.
They can, computers can be good. So, but at the end of the day, you know, when you're like, you know, giga zooming and obliterating everything before it can even appear on your screen entirely, you know, there's a question of how much use can they really be, and that's where I come in and say, look, the floor is still they're half a party member worth of loot increase, and they are, you know, whatever auras and all of that. So you might pivot from more. You definitely want, like, DPS ones are real good all the way through, but once you again become the power of 1,000
Okay,
gods,
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, there's a certain point.
There's only so much you can do. Now that being said, if you do want to play a more passive character and you want them to just go wild, like they're pretty strong. There is, of course, the thing where if you miscalculate that, you go into your pinnacle relying on them to kill it, and you miss the mark and they die. It's not like you're bringing them back in that area.
They only have one
so
portal.
now you're like, oh damn it. I'm not sure what to do now, and you've got to do it the hard way. So, but yes, much like the new change the animate guardian, if they die, they don't come back into that area.
Sounds like a good way of
only
doing it.
sequential
Yeah.
instances. Yeah.
Much better than the losing gear and all that,
Yeah,
all that drama.
we went through all that. I even had the like, maybe in Ruthless they should lose an item, or maybe, you know, I was like, is that a thing? I was like, oh, no, look, it's either right or wrong. Let's just go with what we know is right, what people will like, and what is not going to just cause a bunch of unnecessary. Oh my god, now I got to do this again, and something unpredictable happens, or some monster skill is like particularly imbalanced, and it's like, oh my god, it just lost so much currency, and like, so all good.
Sounds great. Awesome. So Settlers Town went core. We didn't have to rebuild it. Phenomenal. Thank you. Gold goes core, which obviously as an experiment feels like a success then. Jonathan, I think you feel like you can speak to that.
I mean, sure.
Gold was a core feature of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely happy with where gold, like, you know, with how gold improves things. I mean, you know, we originally did it as a way to reduce the number of things that monsters can drop while still having it so that they feel like they drop things.
Yeah, like culling the
But I mean, I honestly like. I think it's been a straight up improvement, and obviously it's really good to be able to work with the you know, the new the trade, the currency market and stuff like that. Like, I think that stuff, like, you know, I don't know that there'd be another way to do that as successfully as the way that works. So like, I think that's worked well, and it's funny because you know, like, on the surface, you're like, oh, every game's got gold. But the funny thing about it is that in most games, gold is a lot of games have like bound items, and then gold is the only thing you can trade. In our game, you've got unbound items, and gold is the only thing you can't trade, and that's why it sort of works as that kind of trading kind of thing. So I think the way we've done it, like, it works well, and I definitely want to keep it. Like, it's got a definite place for sure. And like, we may be able to expand its use as well more in the future potentially. Like, right now, it's not used for like shops or anything like that. Like, you know, it's used for gambling, but it's not used for the regular shops. And like, there were some issues around that, but we might change that one day. Sort of hard to say, but you know, I think it's definitely it's good.
Yeah. Okay. And that means obviously currency exchange is staying core and things like that. It looks like shipments were staying core, and that's one that I see is like mixed opinions on. Some people love it. You know, it's passive income, and but it's also like an obligation. You know, it's a thing you got to check in on. It's a busy work to an extent.
We did some changes here, so we did slow down. You know, we made them take longer, and proportionally, in some cases, increase the rewards. The intention there being, of course, that way you have to deal with it less.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the focus of the league anymore.
I don't like
we don't want it to be overtaking what you're doing all the time.
Yeah. And look, I expect these things to be a bit divisive, 100%. Some people love it, some people don't. And that's great. That's everything in PoE, and that's everything we add. And you can choose to do it. You can choose not to do it. Maybe you choose to just do the crops and do the shipments and not worry about all the other stuff to do with it. Maybe you just use the map runners and put all of your gold investment into that. You know, there will be other ways to spend gold in the future. Maybe you because you don't want to deal with them, you build up in excess, and then all of a sudden we add the gambling strongbox from PoE 2 or something like that to sink the rest.
Yes,
Who knows?
dude.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do it so good.
It's a fun strongbox, but
That is a good one.
that will come to PoE 1, I promise you.
100%.
So, but you know, there'll be ways to do it, but we'll feel it out and see how much gold people are getting relative to losing as well a bit, and then see. But the intention here is that if it's feeling annoying and how much you have to deal with it, then we've missed the mark, and we'll probably even adjust things a bit further as well.
Okay, yeah.
But again, like everything, it's up to you, your agency, your choice. Like,
You touched on an interesting point, because I feel like before it wasn't optional because it was there and it was free stuff. So why wouldn't you do it? But now you're actually, both in terms of gold, but also your passive application, like, are you actually even investing in having those ores appear versus something else? So it's not necessarily just like a free thing on top that you're obligated to do. It's now a more conscious decision.
I could see it feeling mandatory, and if it does feel mandatory, then we miss the mark a little bit for sure.
You want to avoid that.
I don't want it to feel so mandatory, but that being said, I also wouldn't want it to feel so terrible that you never want to engage with it. So there's always a fine line to hit. And
but there's stuff you can only get from there, so there's always going to be that
yeah,
element.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to get the tattoos and rune grafts, and some of those rune grafts, a lot of them are like pretty crazy off-build stuff, and there's a good set of like chase ones in there, and there's some pretty crazy stuff in there to get, but I think it's a better system. I like the idea that now Settlers is giving 2 different passive tree mechanics that can coexist as the rewards, aside from obviously recombinating and map running and stuff. But as opposed to like just the freaking insane enchants that you were getting on your weapons
so
before.
The enchants are gone. Then this replaces that. Yeah. Which I think most people expected.
They were a little bit much on the power creep axis. It was kind of just a bit crazy.
But
and
you can never get them.
I wouldn't say that we won't see some sort of weapon enchant system back in the future.
Yeah.
And we're a bit more regulated and stuff like that, but because there's room for that, there's design space for that, but we never know what form. But I like that Settlers is where you go to get your alternate passive tree stuff. I think for changing masteries and changing nodes, I like that as the the reward from it.
It was a pretty funny reveal of the live reveal of the recombination changes, because everyone was like, "Oh no, you did it! You got rid of the old one and replaced it with this." But then obviously the old one's still there.
We're here seeing all of the L's, and then I'm like, "Don't worry, they'll come back. They'll come back. It's all right."
It was very entertaining from our perspective.
So that's all right. And then all of a sudden, L's www save. I love it. I very thoroughly enjoy watching chat. Yeah.
So you kept the old version of recombination. Is that changed or nerfed in any way, or is that just?
He's a W farmer.
The old way, I can't speak to that with an absolute certainty, and I would have to talk to, one of the main designers dealing with that. But I did say like we should pretty much keep it the same.
Yep.
And if there is a change, it needs to be like very much justified. It's not like
Yeah.
People like it for a reason. Like keeping it alongside the other one and then gutting it is obviously not not the play. You may as well have not kept it at that point. So yeah, it was certainly the intention that we keep it. It's still a favorite. Like if anything, I would be okay with making things more expensive, so it's a little bit harder to use at the top.
I don't get it. It's like I thought
the
current commoners were trash. Did they make them better or something?
I think that is maybe the thing we concluded when you're interacting with a lot of the really special modifiers that you normally can't get on items. We're making it a bit more expensive. But I don't think that was a huge constraint anyway,
not
unless
a
you were
for the people doing it usually.
Sure. So I would prefer to do
ban
something
these
like
one-man
that
spammers. It's literally like 10 guys running chat. Legit.
And I'm like 99% sure we didn't nerf the actual functionality of it.
Actually,
but
we're trying to
I'll verify, and if it is the
now.
case, I will let the community know afterwards.
Okay. On the topic of gold, an ongoing thing has been that gold is very present from the core Atlas mechanics and certain things, but other things just literally don't drop it. You do Blight or whatever and you just don't get gold, or, Sanctum just doesn't get gold. That's obviously a separate topic, but is this something that has been normalized across the game? Do you want players to be in a position where they can't use it?
We are making some adjustments. So like when we did that, obviously we went through the entire game, of which there is a lot, and specifically we're like, do this, too much gold, lower, and we had penalties and increases all over the place, and a bunch of stuff was too low. Some stuff is, and I wouldn't say it's too high. It was actually probably relatively nice mostly. There was just a bunch of stuff that's just dead. And it is our intention for that to not be the case. So yeah, we do want to increase those. I don't know how much they'll necessarily increase by, but it is something that is on our radar 100%.
On the radar.
Great, because
Heist is a good example.
Yeah, I think the most compelling argument I heard in favor of like making sure that those had access to gold was for the player who wanted to focus on just that. They just wanted to heist.
100%.
They can't currency exchange, right? That's the biggest problem.
100%. It isn't. It is just like let's say it is already a relatively divisive league, and then also the gold sucks. It's easy to perceive that as dead. So yeah. It look, there are some things where we maybe make an intentional decision because they are like too rewarding to be like it's not a place you're going to get a lot of gold, Sanctum, and then when we're like, okay, we'll make some changes too. But then you have the you know, things like heist, where I would say it isn't that regard, and it's just like, why is the goal bad here? And it's like, look, we just missed the mark. So
yeah. Oh, well, I guess since we brought it up, the Anti-Sanctum Alliance has been constantly messaging me, asking about, you know, whether Sanctum's going to see any changes in terms of just kind of how much raw currency it prints early league for like a low investment for like really knowledgeable players, giving them such a massive advantage.
Stupid
over
fucking
less ones.
Sanctum
Obviously,
runner
that's always the
characters.
case, but it seems to a severe magnitude.
I don't have the exact changes because they're literally we're like going to do them today or Monday. But like. Which I know seems crazy.
We're gonna
so they're
the
not like
fuck out of
massive grand rework, but at least for now, we're certainly going to give it less of the edge it has. I don't exactly know what form, but it's not going to have. It's not just going to be untouched. In terms of like a grander future, like I would like to shift away from, you know, it just being pure regular currency and move into something where it has its own item and own reward mechanic that has some sort of interaction with something. Like almost every league has something special, and that one is just like, you know, obviously it's got a relic meta system, but it's just like, here's some uniques, here's a different style of gameplay, but just like, here's all the currency. So yeah, then it becomes very quantifiably better or worse than just like core game. And obviously very, very early, it's very strong. And then, you know, maybe juicing catches up, but then, you know, well, it obviously gets a little bit crazy. And different axes, you get a lot more uniques, a lot more different things. But it's still, yeah, it's just that there's very easily quantifiable thing where it's like a very good strategy if you know what you're doing, especially very early on, as you're saying. But it needs its own thing. It 100% needs its own thing. So, but at least for now, it doesn't have to be as good as it is for how easy it is to do so. So we'll make some changes. I just don't know the exact specifics. And as a result, they won't be in the patch notes today. It will be in another coming soon section because it is.
Like I already know what they're going to say, but when they say it.
Why would we not stop? Why would we stop developing now?
I'm like, what do we even? Like, I already know their answer.
What are we going to sit around and twiddle your thumbs?
He asked a question. I already know how he's going to respond.
Sounds good. And
I'm literally.
With the like big changes to Betrayal, which look phenomenal, that's obviously like a big overhaul for that, and
I am
was
literally
really long awaited. It does kind of make me want to ask, like, do you have like another one that you're really looking forward to giving a similar treatment? I hear a lot of feedback about like quality of life around Bestiary, for example, being not where people want it.
That is on our radar. There's I know for like itemizing beasts and improving the quality of life there is a little bit annoying. Maybe more than a little bit. But, you know, like talking about like the Sanctum reward as an example, there's some others, like I'd love to give, you know, Blight a bit of an overhaul. I'd love to, you know, do something with Delve. You know, it's just all those, there's probably more that once I actually look at the full list, I'll be like, here's some obvious ones. But look, these things fall out of popularity, they fall out of favor, they get outdated, they become old, you know, like
legacy of a decade.
You know, it's what happens. But the good thing is, much like with Betrayal, we circle back and give it a whole fresh coat of paint, new rewards, new systems, new interactions, you know, or you know, step forward the storyline and evolve it into a mini sequel sometimes as an option. You know, there's all these kinds of things that are completely things we could do. So like, you know, purely hypothetical. Maybe you're now later on you're just delving and oh my god, there were the 3 cities and now there's a 4th city with a 4th boss and you have what is this thing I'm finding? You know,
100% confirmed.
Again, now because hypotheticals have to become realities.
100% confirmed. Also, just like the Blight overhaul coming next week, and in my mind, you didn't even say it, but like temples are getting reworked. I was like, you didn't even say it, but I said that in my mind, and now it's true. So
there he goes.
I'll hold you to
manifesting it, bro.
Nor deny.
Phenomenal. Some rapid fire quality of life things to kind of follow on from the Bestiary mention. We have like the ID all things in your inventory from PoE2. Love it. Would love to see it in Path of Exile 1. Any reason why it couldn't be a thing or wouldn't be a thing?
What?
Do you hate it?
Do
you hate my hands?
I can't remember what.
Control click at an NPC and.
It's on my list. It's still on my list. It's okay. I had my like, here's all the quality of life stuff. It was like there was a section where it's like to discuss later again, and I put it in that, and I actually genuinely cannot remember why it wasn't just immediately and obviously doable.
Yeah, it seems like the thing if you want to do, you'd be like, yes, do it. So I assumed something up.
There was one thing that was like blocking me from just being like, hey, 100% just do it. I just can't remember what it was. But it's a thing we can get around and make happen for sure. But yes, the being able to go to town and ID all was very useful, and hideout as well was an extreme upgrade that I liked. So.
Well, tell me who whatever Dev is working on, then I'll go make them lunch or something so they can focus.
I'll take you to them afterwards. But you have to now, because if I'm going to be held to things I'm saying, you're going to help.
There's Nicky.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Some of the older bosses with phases, Chimera is the one that stands out to me. Is like
immunity phases.
Yeah, just like really long immunity phases. In Chimera. They feel quite dated at this point.
Katarina got the same treatment, where it's just like. Oh, okay. Like, maybe like 40 immunity phases is just a bit much. It's not. I don't know what the number was. It wasn't that, but it was just a bit much. But yeah, a lot of those are going to need a bit of overhaul as well. It's hard to justify going back and spending a lot of time on that, but there's sometimes very easy things we can do, because instead of doing that, we could just be making a brand new boss that's like way more epic, way more fun, and fits into a more modern and core thing. Whereas like some of those are just like very high end game, get some fragments. It's one boss of 4 that then gets to a pinnacle, and like you want your pinnacles to be good. You certainly want your end of line bosses like Katarina to be good, and that having as many immunity phases as it was just doesn't hold up now. Like I would say it didn't even really hold up then either. It just, again, it takes you to really back out of the new stuff and go back and look at the thing to go, what is actually wrong with this, and look through everything and go, yeah, there's actually more bad here than I thought. And then you go through and fix it all and change it all and revamp it all and, do it again X years later.
Yeah. It's been a while since we talked about this, but with a discussion about gold and the currency exchange, I feel like it's worth revisiting. Just like, how do you feel the old trade manifesto holds up from way back in the day? Like now, in light of,
I would say that the currency exchange, like, kind of definitely shows that there's it's not like we didn't know there wasn't demand for instant trade, right? But the currency exchange definitely helped things a lot, and I know that we still want to do more stuff. Like I've kind of talked a little bit before about how there's other things we want to do, and I still think we want to do it. The main thing is that like the gold allows us to make it so that there can be a cost that isn't the cost of having to do the actual trade with individual other people. And so I do think there is a world where we can go to where we can have a different system. We'll probably prototype that in PoE 2 first, I reckon.
PoE 2 is where they beta test.
Don't have a permanent
for PoE 1
standard economy that
it is.
In PoE 2 we've got an economy that will exist forever, but that's not going to be standard, right? Because that'll be the early access economy that will stick around. So we've still got an opportunity here to completely damage the economy without while being able to recover from it.
I know from my perspective, when the currency exchange came out, I was like, after we played, and it was such a relief of friction that I was like,
you were like, this is all we ever need.
Maybe this is enough. And then now after, and obviously then it started coming back a little bit. Then playing 020 on PoE 2, and then going and trying to trade for more items, I was like, I'm reminded of all the frustrations. I'm like, we definitely need more than just the currency exchange.
Bro.
Yeah, I would say we scoped it out. We wanted to see if it was better enough. And then I was just like getting
insatiable.
Beyond angry.
You're always hungry for more quality of life.
Why is the whole server AFK?
I think it might have been worse in PoE 2 because more new players.
So what I found in PoE 2, a fun little trade thing, is when I first started, people didn't know, go to, you invite them, they come to your hideout.
Basic etiquette
and I'm like,
stuff.
Are you coming? What's going on? And then they're sitting in Act 2 town, just like waiting for me, and I'm like, okay, I get it. No one knows that you just go to your hideout. That's a new thing to have to learn.
Oh, and it's shifted as well, like weird new kind of like things of like culture things have grown out of that, just like kind of independently from different like new people versus pre-existing PoE players, and it's become a strange little thing.
Real fun to watch, eh?
It's an interesting little social experiment thing going on, isn't there? But I think like I think what you've touched on there is that it does just kind of raise the question of like, where should the friction be? The friction being in gold feels really good, I think.
That is exactly the thing that we would prefer, right?
Yeah.
The thing that's going to be the question is that if gold is the only friction, it still needs to be that the cost of it is enough. So the thing that the Trade Manifesto talks about basically is you get this issue with you don't get it with currency. So doing it for currency is actually fine because currency, you know, it acts as a sink. Like it is currency, so it's okay to have like fluid trade for that.
Yeah.
When you start getting into items, then you start to have that issue where the stuff at the top is worth like astronomical amounts, and the stuff at the bottom is worth nothing. And like any trade will cause that, but the easier trade is, the more you get that. So you kind of got this like, you know, if trade like was very hard, you get like a flat line. You can turns into more of an exponential growth curve as you as trade becomes easier and easier. So effectively, you just have to make sure that we're hitting the right point. And what I worry about, and this is one of the things as well, if we first do something like this, we're probably going to have to price the gold cost pretty high as a starting point,
for sure, yeah.
and then kind of maybe back it off as we see like what the effect is, because if gold is the only barrier, then you're going to see those that kind of issue.
Trade will be way
like a
too
direct
easy.
kind of translation of your like play time / play
Exactly,
quality,
and
your efficiency
and so
to that trade capacity.
So the fact
right?
that it works that way, where it's effectively character, like bound to you, effectively means that we can use it this way, and that's kind of the difference between us and other games. So I think that it will work, but it's like we just have to be very careful. 100%.
Because I 100% get like the concern about it, because this is about like what you're actually putting on your character and circumventing whether you actually do any gameplay for
Absolutely.
that. But this makes it so that you are
raises
doing
the
gameplay for
floor.
that, and it's an alternate method. And
so we have to be careful, especially in the early game, where you know, if you can just get something that some high level player just doesn't care about anymore, so they sell it for nothing. And then but it costs you, but it
still has to cost you
effectively
something.
costs, you know, it sort of needs to cost you something. So we just have to make sure we're getting that
It's
right.
why
So
people don't do
when
one-C
we do
trades.
it'll, you know, we're gonna have to be very careful around that stuff for sure.
Yeah,
but people would do the ones
you
you trade if there was no friction.
You can only really like realistically do a couple items a day. Then it's
the
not
game
your
would be too
bulk
easy.
trading kind of method.
Can be,
it exists alongside the existing one or something like that. That could be a prototype for it. So it seems like it feels possible now, whereas before it was like a no way, never.
You have to have the
crazy.
friction.
It is possible now for sure. It is possible.
Which is it's just I'm excited to see what you do.
You're going to fully create your character with like 5C.
Won't be too far away, I think.
Bloody
but,
you can kind of already do that.
I'm pretty sure we're going to prototype it in PoE 2 first.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where we've got you know, a bit more leeway there.
Like you said, I mean that shows a bit of like a love and sanctity to Path of Exile 1 there for the people maybe concerned that you don't care about it.
Right,
So
I guess so. Yeah.
And just one more note: and all you people who are listing items,
here he goes.
Not trading them,
and then you're not even AFK. You're in a map, and you're just not replying.
Fuck you.
Don't list it for that
Stop
price
it.
if you don't want to sell it.
Please,
ban them, bro.
Please. Or actually, no, you're going to keep going now because then you're going to have more drive to get this new system implemented. So, yeah, it backfires, but
There is
whatever.
There is that.
What tabs have got
Make
items
trade
listed for
as
like
bad as
1C,
possible.
bro?
maybe,
No,
you guys.
we're not having some accelerationist concept here. That's terrible.
And that is the note that we'll wrap up the Q&A on today. Thank you very much, folks, for hanging out with us, and thank you, Jonathan and Mark, for answering our questions today. I look forward to playing more of Secrets of the Atlas and Mercenaries of Travelers.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Everyone has fun, and we're back.
Yeah, we're so back.
We're back.
We're so back. So back. See you later, guys.
See you later.
Shit. I'll be the decider of that. I'll be the decider of that. Okay. Stay cute. What the fuck is this? Guys, I am excited again. I must admit, it's got me pretty hyped. So it's confirmed. This literally is a full-on expansion. Okay. And a league. And a league. Which is like, bro, I'm gonna be real. I am a goal-oriented person, and it's one of these things. Every time I kill all the bosses in the end game, all the pinnacle bosses, my drive to play that game goes down massively. Even though I understand it's about the journey, but it doesn't matter. I just like to be like, have I killed the bosses? Yes, no. Well, then I know. Then I need to fucking try my hardest to kill it. Which is why, like, I would go so hard every league, because I'm like, I'm going for the bosses this league, boys. And then I would kill a lot of them and then die. And I'm like, okay, that was a good attempt. Next league, bro. Next league. I did it. And then ever since I did it, bro. Ever since I did it, I was just lacking motivation. Like, I need that goal. So, like, it's one of these things where now I'm fucking... Now we've got new pinnacle bosses to aim at. I just hope they're good. We couldn't really see the gameplay of the new pinnacle bosses because of the fact that the fucking live stream was so dog shit quality. It was like just a bunch of squares. But it did look like they had some pretty unique looking mechanics there that I'd never seen before. Like weird swirly shit and fucking insane bullet hells and whatever the fuck that... I don't know what the hell that wavy shit what we saw. I mean, there was some crazy stuff going on there. You ain't killing him, little gup, but I am. But the thing is, I actually don't want to kill him. You gotta understand... I get scared to kill all the bosses, because once I kill all the bosses, bro... Once I kill all the bosses, well, then I become demotivated, because it's like, well, I've done it now. So it's like almost a good thing where... the best case scenario is I almost kill the bosses, but then I fail. That's best case, because then I've got something next league to be like, well, this is the league I do it. Or if they have a new one. So now it's really cool to have that motivation back in the game, and I feel like a lot of people are like that. I'm not doing a subathon. Or you guys saying, subathon, do a subathon. Fuck off. Subathons, bro, I am still not even recovered from that previous one. It's too much. Like, you gotta understand, they are insanely... Like, every single other aspect of my life gets put on the back burner. Like, family, health... mental sanity, balance, moderation goes out the window. And I still have to do Clown Week. Yeah, I've still got to do Clown Week. Exactly. I've still got to do Clown Week. Did I see this yet? Well, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm not about to look at it. Oh my god, you have to work. Motherfucker, you've got no idea what the fuck a subathon's like. You're clueless. You don't know what being a streamer is. You stupid. You're retarded, brother. It's cool, though. It's cool, though. No, that guy's so dumb. He's so dumb. To think, though, there is a huge...
Quinn, you fucking typed me out. Can you please unban me? I don't know why you fucking banned me. I was only telling the truth. Please.
I don't know. Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you. You banny bait little bitch. Banny bait little bitch. Oh, patch notes. I don't know if I look at the patch notes. I think the patch notes is too big, Dick. I want to look at the... I think I look at the mini patch. Oh my god, bro. I've got to beat the Exposition 33.
Quinn, where did you go, mon ami? Stop being a pussy-ass bitch.
Wait, how am I going to do Exposition 33 and read all the patch notes and deep dive the video? Ah, shit. Let's just have a look at the fucking... Let's just look at that post. Let's look at that post. About the Exile Secret Atlas, the tears have begun to appear in the Atlas, leading to different realities. The originator of these realities has entangled themselves within the very fabric of the Atlas, and now they're trapped. Track down the source of the tears and uncover the secrets within. A new expansion introduces... I need a different playlist. Do you go to, like, Meadows playlist or something? Maybe like Sailing Adventure. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, that's good. Okay, a new expansion introduces an additive in-game storyline, a new type of in-game crafting mechanic, and 3 new in-game bosses, a new challenge league, and dozens of new items, unique items, and such, and much more. Meet Egon, an intelligent man of mysterious heritage. He's trying to discover his origins, but in doing so, he's found more than he bargained for. In his investigation, Egon encountered distortions of reality. Occasionally, he catches a glimpse of a young girl through the rifts, Zana. He knows her as the daughter of the great inventor who shaped the Atlas as we know it. These tears in reality, he has discovered, are actually threads of memory distorted and made real by the Atlas. Egon is adamant to discover what is causing this and to save Zana. There it is, bro. Okay. Step into the memories. Okay, yep. As you encounter threads of consciousness, a strangled thread-like substance that appears near the tears by using powerful gauntlet of his own, making Egon be able to create a link between these threads and open portals to them. Working with Egon, you must step through and find Zana, or whatever remains of her. These areas are opened by Egon and can be fully influenced by your Atlas Tree Scarabs from fragments. Your goal is to reach the end and the source of the stream of consciousness. Okay, yeah. Alright, so there it is, boys. There it is. We're looking at it right here. Interesting. Ooh. I mean, this is kind of cool. This whole ramping. I just hope it's not, like, too juiced. I hope it's not too juiced where everything that's not this feels like complete ass. Although, they were saying that you do get maps that spawn in the late game, which have this, which have these mods, but they've also got T17 mods. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I fucking hate T17 mods. I fucking hate T17s. Everything T17s stand for, I dislike them. The game, in my opinion, would be objectively better without T17s. Like, fuck T17s. And the fact that they put these in as maps, except you get, like, T17 mods, that just makes you want to fucking gag. Okay, fuck T17s. Harness new powers in these areas you investigate are not just regular maps. They are influenced by the memories of Zana herself and it manifests dangerous threats. This influence takes the form of having monsters imbued by memory petals. Defeating these enemies causes the power of those petals to transfer onto you. Each of the memories within the threads will grant you different special ability. So wait, each of the memories within the threads. Okay, give you special. The enemy power you received fuels this ability and allows you to use it. As you progress further into the thread of memories, the maps can have more than one memory, and thus you can have more than one powerful ability. Okay. Okay, so he's got this one on F2. So he's got what? He's got some sort of zappy thing. Some sort of weird swirly thing. And he's got some sort of debuff here. It looks quite active. I'm not going to lie. I was never a Sentinel, Andy. I get the Sentinel guys are like, hell yes, bro. Fucking Sentinel lead, baby. I was never like, oh, let's group up a bunch of monsters and like fucking press a button and then, you know, a bunch of them comes out. I don't know. I like the automat, like you just, I'm a passive Andy. I'd rather just be passive. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Willie Epps with the gifted subs. Thank you, bro, for the gifted subs. Appreciate that, bro. Oh, do I unpost it? Yes. It's so stupid.
Back home to Poe. Let's scoop Poe to
Nula with the gifted subs as well. Thank you, Nula. True, brother.
PoE2 is good. Why do you still watch this rubbish old game? Log in.
Hey, log in, brother. Log in. Hey, Quinn,
we all know you're going to stall for 5 days straight, and then quote-unquote accidentally rip on a boss. I'm guessing we'll be going back to Valheim after that, resident fucking sleeper.
Who if I can? I'll find the guy and ban him. I can't wait to ban that guy.
Keck.
Who else is excited for me to ban that guy? Because I can't wait to ban him.
F.
I dislike you as a human being.
Gongs.
I cannot wait to fucking ban you. You're banned for league launch, bitch. Fuck off, little hate watcher ass bitch. Fuck off, hate watcher ass bitch.
Log in.
Where the box at, hate watcher ass bitch at?
Based. Freddy_86 gifted a tier 1 sub to Tatty_Anna.
Get his ass.
They have given 404 gift subs in the channel.
Bitch.
Let's go Quinn, let's go Peepo cheer, let's go Quinn, let's go Peepo cheer.
Okay.
2.
We're almost there. I'm just waiting for TDS to catch up. I got the right guy.
How many times have you killed all? Or the feared? Then bup.
Doesn't matter, don't count, no static.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Urethra Bloody Cum.
Those are joke bosses. They're not real bosses. They're real bosses. It's the real pinnacle static bosses. Why didn't I post this? We're just waiting for this to fucking finish.
Hoggies, can't wait for update 3.26. It'll be a good beta test for the superior game in PoE2. Read the patch notes, bitch.
Okay, this is lovely, TGS guys. All right, the final map to each thread is a true challenge filled with new monsters and guarded by a powerful boss. Each of these bosses are familiar but dreamlike.
Login.
So they're like reforged versions of bosses that were like, you know, have mechanics. Drawn from Zana's memories and warped by the Atlas into something very different and terrifying. I hope this isn't going to be like some T17 map bullshit where, because of the fucking ridiculous mods that are on the map, by the time you get to the end of the map, it's like 5 times as hard as an Uber boss, and they're just unkillable and one-shot you 5 times over. I hope that that's not the case. Like, bro, I hope these bosses don't... dude, fuck that. When you fight these... When these bosses... You know, these... Whatever you want to call these ones, these penultimate bosses. When you fight them, I hope you go into a room and they're just not affected by modifiers. Because it's always, dog, it's never a good vibe. Like, fighting a fucking real hard boss that you know what it is, and that is what it is. Not like, oh, fuck, he's attacking at 300% attack speed, and he's got 200% extra damage as chaos damage, and he's also got 500% AoE, so now his abilities literally hit the entire screen, so you actually can't even avoid it. It's dog shit. Okay? I'm just being honest, I'm not a fan of it. I just don't like that. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. So I'm hoping that's not the case. We'll have to see, though. I don't like the sound of those, though. I don't like the sound of those, the bosses before the bosses. I do like the sound of, on the other hand, the fucking actual real bosses here, the pinnacle bosses. If you manage to defeat one of these warp memory bosses, Eargon will be able to harness his power to delve deeper into the memories. In those depths, you will encounter the most significant of Xana's memories, which manifested into 3 new pinnacle bosses. Which, that's an actual item that you put into your thing that's not got all that memory bullshit, and it's just a boss, and it's static, and that's what I like to hear, baby. That sounds like, okay, I'm currently 0 out of 3. So, that means I'm 0 out of 3. Which is, now that's like, okay, log in, boys. I'm 0 out of 3. I've got some bosses that need to be killed. Not 0 out of 10, I'm 7 out of 7. I've already done those ones. Now, maybe I'll just kill those ones for fun, but I'm not going to focus on those. I'll be focusing on these new bosses. I'm 0, as far as I'm concerned, I'm 0 out of 3. I'm 0 out of 3. No, I don't need to kill all the older Ubers, dude. I mean, what do I need to kill the old Ubers for? I've already killed them. I'm 0 out of 3. Maybe I'll just I might kill them. This is what I'll do. This is the plan. The plan will be, well, unless I want to farm, like if I wanted to farm Uber Eater or something, for example, for an item, which I might, who knows? I might farm one of the Ubers out, make an Uber farmer. But my goal will be the new pinnacles. Okay? Address the exploit allegations. They're just a bunch of morons who just trying to... It doesn't matter. If I beat the boss in a different league, they're all going to say, oh, you only beat the boss because you used an overpowered build. If I beat it without an overpowered build, they're going to say, you only beat the boss because the bosses were bugged. You beat it they weren't bugged or something. You only beat the boss because you were doing something meta. Even though you make... It doesn't matter what you do. They're always going to try and discredit what you do. I am 7 out of 7. They're a bunch of bozos. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so we got this motherfucker. That guy looks like the dude from the fucking Sanctum in PoE 2. The fuck is this? This looks like the fucking thing from PoE 2 that's in the Chaos Arena. The one that does a you know, like the the Chaos. The bird thing. It's the bird, bro. It is. I'm telling... That is the bird. No, it is. It's the... Okay, look. PoE 2... Trial of Chaos... Bird. Bro, it's literally him. What are you talking... It's literally him. Look. It's literally him. Bro, it's literally him. Okay, I don't like that boss, but I hate that fucking boss. The good news is, they look completely different, obviously, because they've been Giga reskinned, and Okay, he's not gonna have any of those stupid dog shit PoE2 mechanics that suck ass. Like whatever the fuck that shit is, where there's just a bunch of shit on the screen. You can't tell what's going on. You're just dying to nothing, and then yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Okay, cool. Reap the rewards. Defeating pinnacle bosses will grant you new powerful uniques and memory influence match, which will introduce memory strands, a new item mechanic. The new pinnacle boss will also drop new crafting currencies, which can be used to manipulate the memory strands on items. In addition, we have supported the new in-game content with a set of new passive skills on the Atlas passive tree. Let's have a look here. Okay, what the fuck's this? So it's Iron Ring base. Okay, block. Okay, we got 5% block. 18 strength. Okay. 53 maximum life. Okay. Armor from equipped shield is doubled. Gain armor from equipped body armor. I don't know if that's gonna... I doubt that will increase the scaling. If this thing increases the scaling of armor scaling mechanics for shield abilities, then that's insane. I think it's just gonna give it a fuck ton of armor though. I don't think it will. Because it's not going to, like, modify the actual number on your item, right? So then it'll just give you a bunch of armor on your stat sheet. Could we get for armor stacking builds, maybe, though? Maybe? Nah, I doubt it, though, because you get tons of armor on your fucking chest piece. I don't know, man. Unless this somehow affects the skills, which I don't think it would, that to me looks complete dog shit. Yeah, it looks complete dog shit. 1 to 5 block, who cares? You can get block cap easy as fuck. Okay, we got a max life base. Okay, so good base. Got the Vermilion Ring base, GG base. 49 strength, good number of strength. 14 fire damage, whatever. Reduced fire resistance. Okay, so it's not less fire, it's reduced, so it's just minus 55. Take 449 fire damage when you use a skill. Damage penetrates fire res equal to your overcap fire res. Fucking hell! Okay, that's awesome for self-hit, which is crazy, by the way.
Sure.
And it's on a good base, which is crazy, by the way. The downside is basically nobody cares. Wait, what? That's insane. That's got to be from the Uber boss, right? No, it's not going to get for RF. RF can't pin chat. It's just like, imagine if you have 150 fire res, right? That you now penetrate. You don't have to have any reduced res on them. You could just, it's like you just do 100%. It's crazy. It's just crazy for, yeah. It's just crazy, insane pin. And the reduced fire res is like, whatever, who gives a fuck? That's nothing. You cancel that anyway, because you're just going to stack fire res up high as fuck anyway. I mean, this thing is just infinite damage, basically. You equip this ring, you get, like, anywhere over, 100... Like, just get, like, 200 res, right? Get to 200 res, and now you're just doing giga damage. It's not for... Oh, you are right. It doesn't say subtract. You are right. It is reduced. So, wait. You are right. It's going to reduce the scaling of it. But if you had, like, increased fire res mods, that would reverse that. Is there increased... Does anyone know? Is there any increased fire res? Does Chieftain get that? You should do something minus 55 fire res. It's not that bad. It just says, like... Okay, that just says... If you've got fire res, you just reduce it by 55. So you just have to get more you just have to get good fire res on gear. Like, you can get, like, what? 45 on ring, plus 45 on the other ring, plus on boots, gloves, chest, helmet, shield. Oh, I've only got 200 fire res. I'm only penetrating. Like, what are you on about, bro? Just get fire res on everything, bro. Oh, true. Okay, subtract like 40 off it. The reality is you can get fire res jewels, bro. If you can't get hundreds and hundreds of fire res while this is equipped, you're retarded, bro. You're retarded. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you, mate. There it is. It's not hard. Randomize the number of memory strands in the normal equipment. Okay. Randomize the number of memory strands in the normal equipment. Okay. Consumes all memory strands in an item to attempt to upgrade the tier of explicit modifiers on the number of memory strands consumed. How rare is that going to be, bro? Because that looks like the broken one. Is that going to be like, oh, I see it one time my entire playthrough, or am I actually going to get to fucking use this? I feel like this is going to be balanced around Trade League. That shit's going to be rare as fuck. And I'm never getting that shit. Like, wait, do you think it's an Uber? You think it's an Uber boss drop? I hope it's not. That's going to be so sad. Modifies the memory of an influence map, causing its items to be found and have more memory strands. I mean, I just hope they're not balancing the shit around, you know. Life strands. Okay, 40 strands. I mean, whatever. This is a Starcaller Axe, 200 Axe. This is a Mathel build I haven't ever seen one in my life.
03 Lamau.
This is Mathel's like, he'll start off with some build, right? Some Merc build. And this is the second he gets access to this, if they're common, he's going to be rolling a start. This is Handy P. Handy P. $12 inventory effect. I mean, the damage of the weapon is mid as fuck. But then you get 50% more scaling on it. It doesn't matter. The Starfall's going to be GG, right? Like, you can get Starfall to 7-link. Right? You can get Starfall to 7-link because it triggers level 20 Starfall on critical strike, plus it can be supported by the sockets inside the weapon, right? So you get a 7-link Starfall. So depending on what Starfall says, it's probably going to be completely broken. So the PDB of the weapon probably is irrelevant, and it's just pure spell build, right? Unless it is like, I don't know, Starfall could be based on melee damage.
Can't wait to spin to win.
Yes, that looks nuts. That looks nuts. Meet the mercenaries of Tartarus. In the Secrets of Atlas expansion, we're introducing a new challenge league, Mercenary of Tartarus. In this league, you will meet the lawless veterans who have traveled all the way from the brutal lands of Tartarus. They are ready to offer their sinister services, but not for free. You will find these mercenaries as you journey through Railclast, one in each area. They have each their own personalities and come with different builds, skills, and items already equipped. Naktha, the Maleficent. Okay, so you get this one here, Reanimator. So Summoner. So we can actually look at this UI now. I need to deep dive the video super hardcore. Okay, so Strength Int, level 81. So we've learnt. So as they level up, they get more points in a hidden passive tree. That's like, whatever. It's going to say like 5% more life, 10% more damage. And I wonder if there's thresholds where it's like, it gets to level 85 and then they unlock Pierce. Or the list is level 86 and then it unlocks a Chain. Or it gets to this certain level and it like motherfucker gets Chaos Inoculation or something, right? Like I wonder if there's thresholds at certain levels they unlock key stones that completely change them or make them overpowered. Or if there's ones that you want to have at low level because it doesn't have that or something. I don't know. It could be interesting. I really hope, so they didn't mention a single one. I really hope we see melee skills, like Tartarus skills. Because they keep showing range shit, magic, caster cuck shit. In the interview with Ziggy D, he did that. That all they talked about was spells, totems, and just other dog shit that I don't care about. I want to see some fucking big dick alt melee, baby. Champion is broken. I don't want to see. I haven't not seen the champion. No spoilers from the patch notes. If you spoil, bro, if they spoil the patch notes, you're banned. You understand me, boy? What the hell? Target dummies. What the hell? Target dummies, bro. Bro, fucking target dummies. They got fucking target dummies in there. Look at that. I'm not even kidding. That's a target dummy, right? Do you think they're cosmetic or do you think they're real? Teaser only? I don't know, man. I don't know. Respect the Titan tradition. Upon meeting mercenary Titan tradition, they will challenge you to strength. A duel. Before you beginning the duel, you will be offered an overview of the mercenary you've encountered. You can then decide to duel them, choosing a reward for your victory. You can hire them for your services. So wait, the item you could... What I don't get is this. When you hire them, he was taking items off them. Can you only take items off them that you put on them? Because why wouldn't you just hire them and then just take all their items? You know what I'm saying? That seems like the minute. Obviously, it's going to be like, yeah. Okay, so you can just pick one item. So they have like an insane item. You just take it. But you can take your own items back that you basically... So you let them borrow an item. Okay? You let them borrow an item. I'm definitely looking at this, by the way, chat. I'm just going to go full merc investment, bro. And I'm going to have like a mercenary that just carries me, bro. And that way, it doesn't matter what build I try. I just have one that... I was even thinking about maybe like being a support to them. So I just make an aura bot myself. And I aura bot the mercenary, which clears for me. Think about how crazy that would be. How not... Like... Me aura bot the AI? Question mark. Dude, there it is, right? So I just walk around and I just let it clear for me, bro. Boom. Cozily, you know what I'm saying? Nah. I'm not going to do that. I'm memeing. But, am I memeing, though? Because it does kind of seem like you could do that. And at the same time, you could make a build that would be good with minions. And then you've also basically got your mercenary, which is like basically just an insanely powerful minion. Well, obviously, you wouldn't scale minions, though. You'd do it like, you know the fucking guy who gets like 3 level, like high-level auras? The stuff, the way you can basically buff allies, which would scale with both them and the minions, right? So, yeah. They talk about Ruthless. It seems like they said that these guys are going to be fully OPM Ruthless. So it sounds like Ruthless is going to be like the easiest it's ever been. But I don't know. That's the vibe I got. That's the vibe I got. Like, it's going to be a good league for Ruthless if you wanted to do that. But, like, why the fuck are you going to do that whenever they're putting new Uber bosses into the game and you can just do the new Uber bosses? Unless you intend to do Uber bosses on Ruthless, which I guess you're a GigaJed. You know what I'm saying? Ina dies of cringe. What is this?
Don't forget the Whack-A-Mole Hideout MTX.
Oh,
I'm
yo.
planning a Flicker Strike build for when you let us join your hideout. Going for 72 attacks per second. Say bye-bye to your client XD.
Yep, I am going to get a Whack-A-Mole MTX in the hideout, and I will allow people to join my hideout to then challenge each other for scores, providing they don't lag my shit out and be annoying. They might end up lagging my shit out and be annoying. So, yeah. Are you going for the patch notes today or tomorrow? I feel like it's better to go for the patch notes fresh as fuck, right? Like, and do a full deep dive. And on top of that, I got gym in like 30 minutes, so... Yeah, I feel like I should, do a proper deep dive. What I'm worried about, chat, is the limited time I have to beat Expedition 33 before this comes out, and then also the lack of preparation that I have for Path of Exile 1. Oh, man. Oh, bro. Oh, and the game show's tomorrow? Oh, fuck, we got game show tomorrow, dude. It's the Geoff Knightley, game announcement where they're going to announce Bloodborne 2. They're going to do fucking... Yeah. No, they're going to announce... It's Geoff Knightley. He's going to announce Bloodborne... Oh, maybe... This one might be the one that's super late during the day that I don't watch. Right? Maybe if you don't spend 2 hours to watch a 5-minute video, you can finish E33 in time. Shut the fuck up. A drawing mercenary can view their items' basic stats and the skills they have at any point. These are randomly generated for each mercenary. This is going to be, like, good because basically if you have mastery and knowledge about the game, you're going to be able to tell, like, oh, this is a good combination of support gems with a skill. Or you can be like, oh, this is complete dog shit. Like, what's he got here? Barrage or Volley Fire? Chain, faster attacks, maim. That's not that good, is it? Ensnaring arrow. Oh, shit! Ensnaring, bro. Bleed plus minion that casts ensnaring arrow and buffs, debuffs with pride, etc. Oh my god, look! Grace and haste. Minions have 2+ auras. I should move. Yo, wait a minute, bro. That's insane. Yeah, get like an ensnaring arrow that fucking it's got increased duration, bro. It's gonna be permanent ensnaring arrow. That's gonna be insane, bro. Dude, bleed. This might be a bleed league, boys. This might be a bleed. I'm just saying, you can see that, right? Okay, one of the most annoying things about playing a bleed ability is them not moving. And then you have to either have an ultra rare unique that you're never going to get. Right? Either you have to get an ultra rare unique that you're never going to get, or you have to weapon switch, which is complete cancer and sucks dick. So, oh, there's aggravate in the game now, I guess. But wait, no, aggravate is, you don't need that though. Fuck, wait. Oh, bro, Pili 1 and Pili 2. Ah! No, bleed is good in Pili 1. Bleed is bad in Pili 2, right? Well, no, it's OP in Pili 2, but it's more like a damage multiplier because it just scales with the base damage. It's just different vibe, isn't it? What's this guy got?
Gerbro, let's go bleed again. I love Po 2.
Flame dash, aspect of the spider. Motherfucker's got aspect of the fucking spider. That alone justifies his position in your group, right? Providing he doesn't die. That's just a multiplicative debuff to all damage on the enemy. Like, that's crazy, bro. I mean, if you get one with like 2 good auras that doesn't die, it's gonna be just super good. Then again, you have to add in that's gonna change the boss AI. Do you know what? I might not even like mercenaries. I hope that they're pretty, like, they're like set super low on prioritization or not even an option, right? I hope that the Uber boss never even targets the minion. Like, how does a minion work on Uber Exile with the balls? Does he just stand in the balls and explode them and then just kill you with the AoE? I bet you it does. Right? It will. 100%. If you've played Uber Exile, you'll know what I'm talking about, because a totem, if you put a totem down that's near you, and you're just dodging the ball, you don't get it by the ball, but the totem hits the ball explodes, and bang, hits you, you die. We've watched a bunch of rip clips of people dying just like that, by the way. HC characters getting destroyed because of like some shit like that. I wonder if they're going to be kind of annoying for bossing. So maybe making a character that's completely reliant on a mercenary is kind of dumb. Unless you make your character unkillable god, then at that point, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because you just tank it. Triple, let's go bleed again. I love you too, my man. I might do. We may have to go bleed again. The infamous Tartaran armaments. You may also find particular Tartaran mercenaries throughout Railclass bearing the name of their house. These are noble mercenaries that descend from the 4 major death trade families in Tartarus. Noble mercenaries are less common, but their equipment items are far better. They are also the sole source of new infamous modifiers. Ooh. Sometimes when you fight a mercenary, you may notice the skills they're using are different from normal. If you're lucky, you'll be able to select that as your reward when challenging them. Then defeat them, and they'll drop the Tartarum gem as promised. Okay, so what we got here? 33 strength, 100 armor, so 700 armor. That's decent armor base. Non-instant war cries you use yourself with no cooldown. Okay. Pretty potent. War cries, that's pretty potent. War cries have an additional life cost equal to 15% of your maximum life. War cries have a 60% area effect. Okay, so if you want to be one of the war cry spamming Andes, you can. There it is, bro. Just be a little dog head guy with a fucking dog head. Just you want to be corrupting? Wait, corrupting cries inside PoE 1 as well, right? General's Crycucks as well. Yeah. And you can also self-damage yourself with this, which is quite nice. I honestly want a lot of sources of self-damage because that's really annoying. It's like, I can't remember what it is. What is it? Is it for Fortify? There's a reason why I want it. Oh, it's for having consistent endurance charges. One way to, an easy way to self-damage yourself is really important because if you have endurance charges, you basically don't die. But then if you do, if you don't have them, then you do die. So you want to have them up consistently. So then you want a way to self-damage. And it's like, fuck. You either play Bone Shatter or you use the Trauma Support Gem, which then locks you into a subset of strike abilities, which is actually annoying. So having some other options that aren't Trauma Support or Bone Shatter is huge because you need a good way. In Hardcore, you need a consistent way to keep your endurance charges up. Otherwise, you die. Yeah. So this is kind of, but then, I don't know, hopefully we get, I would prefer it on the tree, honestly. Like a nice way of self-damaging. Like any ability you deal, you like self-hit yourself for 10 damage or something, right? Something shit like that. Would be amazing. And what I'm saying is I want more things that let us hit. It might not be, there's a good chance it's just a cost. It's just a cost, yeah. But what I'm saying is that previous item that we were looking at, I believe was a hit. Oh wait, was it? What item were we looking at? Where was I looking at it even a second ago? Am I tripping? Where the fuck was I looking at that item? Am I fucking tripping, bro? The ring was a hit. It was like 400 damage taken as. Take 449. That's definitely a hit. You and use a skill. I want more items like that. And I hope we get to see. I would love it on the tree, though, straight up. Okay, adds. What was a mod? Skills used by your traps and mines chain 2 times. So obviously that's completely broken, right? For like. 2 chains is broken. But obviously traps and mines are for losers. So who the fuck's playing that shit? It's going to be like infinite damage. Jungle Rogaine's got some mine that he drops and like the whole screen covers in balls and then the fucking guy like bounces off itself and then fucking reverses and then like it pierces through them and then goes back through them a second time and then it splits and then changes again. Right, let's be real. Okay, minions have 20% cooldown carry rate. That could be good if your minion is completely reliant on cooldowns. Is it that blood mage chick? And then I guess there's, like various golems that are good. Yeah, they could be decent. Stormcall of Tartarus deals... Okay, so what is this? Fizz damage. Fizz damage per second. PDPS build. Nah, fuck this though. Fucking spells that do fizz damage, bro. Fuck that. Dude, the only fizz damage I'm doing is bleed, homie. Let's not get it fucking twisted for a second right now. Okay, we got Spectral Shield Throw of Tartarus. What do we got here? Shards deal 50% less damage. Physical damage. Evasion rating. Huh? Fire 6 shards at a time until all are fired. Okay, let me read this. Throws a spectral copy of shield as a piercing projectile, which deals offhand damage, augmented by the defense of the shield. When it reaches the target location, it will hover in place, repeatedly firing a small number of shards as projectiles in all directions. So yeah, normal spectral shield throw hits the first target, doesn't pierce, and then it goes around to a bunch of shards. So whereas this one here pierces, and then when it explodes, I guess, when it reaches the end of its destination, then it like just fucking just keeps shooting shards until... What's that gonna look like? Is it gonna be like a winter orb kind of vibe? Modifiers that cause additional projectiles will be fired and will add more shards, not more copies of the shields. The rate in which it releases shards will increase until all shards have been fired. That sounds weird, bro. So you shoot it out, and then it like fucking does like a unkillable thing that just keeps blasting shards into their ass, and it shoots a bunch. It depends how well it shotguns, right? If you could just hit it, land it inside the boss, and it's just like fucking shotgunning every time, all shards into the same guy, that's gonna be completely broken. But I mean, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Like 23 projectiles. all hitting for up to 364 offhand base damage. Okay. Complete the challenges. The Mercenary Challenge League comes out with a fresh set of 40 optional challenges complete. By doing so, you'll earn up pieces of the Watcher's Wrath armor set. You'll start by earning these microtransactions from as early as 4 completed challenges. Look at that. It's a pretty cool set. Free to play. I mean, D4 would never. That's going to be like the fucking... You're going to spawn in to the shop, and this is going to be like, you get this now for a $10 discount. Benefit from King March's services. King March from Settlers of Calgary League is going core, but there'll be no more town building. Instead, you'll be able to enjoy King's March services to their full effect right from the start. In addition, we've added new rune crafting, a new passive tree mechanic that can be used to replace the passive tree master node. This to me seems kind of nuts if they have some cool shit, and it changes the way in which you are going to path your character, right? Because you could there could be like a 3-point mastery node that you would never get normally, but if you've got like an overpowered passive effect, then you're going to want to do that. I just hope it doesn't turn into spamming masteries for OP runes, right? It could be. Sailor's Mechanic also has received Atlas passive tree support and a handful of scarabs. 1 Val Soul per second! Dude! I've literally been asking for this. I thought they should have this on the passive tree, though. But now it kind of is on the passive tree, I guess. It's itemized. Auto-gen. So now what it is, this is insane. I'm probably going to use this. What it does is it means Molten Shell's now cooldown. So if Molten Shell costs 30 souls, right? Like Val Molten Shell, you can now consistently know, like, okay, whenever this phase happens, I can press Val Molten Shell at this point. And you've got it up, regardless if you've done damage to the boss. He only does that ability once every minute. This gives me enough Val Souls to always use my Val ability. So it means Val Arctic Armor and stuff like that can then be used, you know, predictably and consistently. So it's very nice. I mean, what the hell? I'm going to put that on my to-do list. New Val Gen Mech for cooldown abilities. I much prefer this. I feel like this. Well, I've been saying this. You just put it on the tree, and it should just be like you can spec into a node where it says you just get 2 Val Souls per second or whatever, but you no longer generate Val Souls from kill. I would take that on 95% of my characters. Straight up. I would much prefer Val abilities just be cooldown abilities. That's effectively what you'll be doing. But it's just now you can do that, which is fucking nice. 30% chance to curse non-curse enemies with a random hex on hit. If this ignores curse limit, it's good. If it doesn't ignore curse limit, it's bad. So I guess we'll find out. Why would it? Well, because there's an item that you can do that with, where you fucking curse them with a bunch of shit beforehand and then you switch it out. Yeah, as a one. Why would it? Well, there's an item that does that. Wait, what is that? What am I thinking of? There's an item in PvE1 where people like pre-curse bosses, like for every curse. Is it a helmet? I feel like it's a helmet or a shield. No, do they sit there and block? There's some bullshit. There's some technology where it bypasses curse limit. If it does, it's going to be very, 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 very... I mean, the thing is, if it bypasses curse limit and you had infinite curse duration, this is like gigabits. This would be insane. Of course there's no curse. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Although it's non-curse enemies. True. It can't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't... Yeah. Because it will only apply one curse, but then it depends, like, is it gonna cuck your curse? Because if it's a bonus curse, you proc your bonus curse, and then you curse. I don't know, dude. I'm not seeing that one, bro. I'm fuck this one, bro. Straight up. Nova spells cast at a marked target instead of around you, if possible. That's kind of nutty, bro. Because you can automate marks super hard. Well, and if you're just mapping, right, it's going to be super natty, right? That's going to be super natty. Because you can just map normally, and then when you see, like, an annoying guy, you press it. Or you just have, like, mark on hit, and you just spam your Nova skill, and it just randomly will target the exact guy. And then, I mean, I don't know, mark lasts forever. Now just permanently always hits the boss. That's OP. Isn't this just like a better version of... It's like an AI version of the Nova cast at your cursor. Now your Nova skills get auto-aim. Right? It's AI. It's smart targeting. You got smart targeting Novas that will like automatically cast on bosses and shit. If you... I mean, this... Like, legit, if you just play a Nova skill and then have this rune... And then you just have a mark on hit, and you've just now got AI on your Nova. So when you're fighting a boss, you just press a button, and it's always hitting the boss every single time perfectly. And you could be off in Africa, and it's just like, what? Just fucking targeting it. I mean, what? Shit, Betrayal rework. All right. The Secrets of the Atlas, we're working Betrayal mechanic. The Mastermind is now accessible through a new fragment that has a chance to drop from safe house laters and no longer resets the state of the Mortal Syndicate. The boss fight itself has also been improved now with significantly fewer immunity phases and new rewards, including all flame embers. I'm going to be real. Betrayal looks like it's going to be a fucking banger because legit Gravicussy farming, speaking as a Gravicussy main, is a lot of fun. And it seems like there are rewards from a lot of them. Like the ones that I used to hate, like the Guff ones, are actually fucking look fun now because you get time. The issue with the crafting thing before was like 10 seconds and you got an item and it's complete dog shit and you like press the buttons and it never ends up good and it's like, fuck this. Every time I interacted with it, I had a bad experience and it just felt like a waste of time. Whereas now it's like, okay, you get more than a minute. So you get like, a minute is a long time, bro. And you get like items that give you a chance to make something good. Now, is it still a meme? I don't know, maybe. Maybe. But it looks like there's a chance it's good. I'm going to have to go Betrayal, right? For sure. Login, Betrayal. Right, for sure, login, Betrayal. Yeah, I think I will. Well, I'm going to SSF, so it doesn't matter what everyone else does. Thing is, it might not be... there's a good chance it's not OP, by the way. Like... There's a good chance it's just, like, balanced as fuck. I mean, it just means you get free... Before you had to, like, you could farm Gravicus, right? And then you'd have to choose, okay, do you want to farm Gravicus or do you want to do farm for Veil Orbs, right? Whereas now it's... You get to do the overpowered thing that makes Betrayal super lucrative, and you also get to get the fucking good currency loss from the boss. And then they've added in, the Veil Exalted Orb. So... Dude, am I gonna get Squire a second time, bro? I don't know. It's like you get to what do you call it? How does that saying go? You get to have your cake and eat it too or something? That's what you get to do. Introduced all several quality of life improvements to Betrayal, rebalance safe house through rewards, added Bell Chaos Orbs back into the Betrayal drop pool. Improve Betrayal Atlas tree nodes and scares and modify it. Let me just think here. Wait, why was Betrayal so overpowered? I remember you would lock out and you would say you'd metacraft the item and you would unveil with the lady and it would remove and add. That's right. It was like suffixes cannot be changed, right? And if it didn't remove the mod and add the affix, you would just try again somehow, right? And you could basically reliably print a really, really strong weapon. But I'm trying to think, is this Elsing? Is this functioning how Elsing even works? That does look like Elsing, right? That is just Elsing, isn't it? That is just Elsing. Wait, removes it, modified as a modified item. Reforges. Wait, so this is old Elsing. This is old Elsing, right? And this is Veil Chaos Orb. Just raw dog. Because that's like, wait, that is... You fill up suffixes, And you have one that says... That's itemized Elsing. Am I right? Who the fuck is Elsing? Fan Helsing. What is he talking about? I'm trying to think to myself, is this like the OP crafting we had before? Because it looks like it is, right? Because that's all... Elsing used to just remove an ad. I need to open up Craft of Exile and remember how it went down. It was just standard Metacraft. It was like you have an item and it's got GGT1 of one thing. And then you would then lock either a prefix or a suffix. I think it was like you would lock the prefixes maybe even. And then you would hope to remove the thing that was locking it, right? And then add a veil on it. And then you could craft an unveil, and it was always insane. Whatever, dude. It's OP for crafting weapons. I'm pretty sure this is just Elsing, but itemized, which is going to be super nice for SSF, because now you don't have to decide to do it. Yeah, it's nice. Quality of life features. And this expansion will have made a number of quality of life improvements to our players. I've been asking, for example, you'll be able to unveil items by yourself at any time using OBSCUR Horizon on Elder Guardian and Conqueror maps. We've also implemented the ability to pause the game, added a smaller inventory in the map device. Okay, yo, GGG. Surely this is one div. Let us lock items in bag. Please. Control-Alt. While you hold both those buttons down and you click an item, a little border goes around the item, and now it no longer gets... You can no longer deposit into your bank. It's just there. Please. Please. Either that or give us a little mini inventory on the left of our inventory that you put items on there that don't interact with anything. You have to, you know, it's just like in PoE 2 with the guy with the bag. Right? The guy with the bag. You know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying.
About
Either
a
or.
year later and we're back. Can't wait to log in and watch the
Show
God
your
Gamer on my
support.
side monitor.
We're launching 2 new supporter packs to celebrate the release of the thingy. I've got to buy this, right? I got to buy this. I don't have to rush buy it, though. I can buy it whenever, right? I'll buy it whenever. I'll buy it tomorrow or something. Fuck that. Okay, I got to go to the gym in 10 minutes here, boys. Bro, what am I going to do for League launch? Am I going to lose my gains? Bro, what do gym guys do when League launches start? Do I have to get some dumbbells to, like, do workouts on my cuck shit while I'm gaming or something? Fuck. My gains, bro. My fucking gains. Oh yeah. This forearm. These forearm gains, bro. These forearm gains. Oh. Reverse gains. The gym gear ranking. Yeah, I don't know. Subathon confirmed. I'm gonna get some shit. I'm not confirming a subathon. There's like a 1% chance I'll do a subathon, and a 99% chance I will not do a subathon. Yeah, I'd say it's about 99% chance I won't do a subathon. So yeah, there you go. Hey, boys, I will be doing a deep dive, so no spoilers for the patch notes. I'll be doing a deep dive on the patch notes tomorrow. Any spoilers will be bannable, okay? There's also the fucking Summer Games Fest GIF show on tomorrow where they will guaranteed announce a big game. They always have at least one banger, so we know they're going to be like announcing a new game that's a banger, at least one. Now, is it Half-Life 3? I don't know. Is it Pallava 1 2? There'll be something insane. Something insane. So that's going to happen. Obviously, I do want to play Expedition 33 a lot, but there's finite time, and I got to do the deep dive. I've got to watch the game show. Maybe there's time for some E33 early in the morning. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I could do E33 on Street Farmer, technically, but that's degenerate as fuck. And I'm about to go degenerate as fuck with... Yeah, it's kind of toxic as well as the people who want to watch the E33 playthrough during my normal stream time. Yeah, I don't think I will do that. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know what I'm going to do. Dude, I hate this, man. I hate this. I hate the constraints of time. Like, I wish I could have a hyperbolic time chamber and I could sit down and just play one game for ages and everything's fucking paused and I don't need to worry about some game that's coming out, some other bullshit. I wish I could do that, man. Dude, it's bullshit. Fuck time, bro. Fuck time. God damn it. Someone invent some time pausing technology so I can play computer games forever. Shit. Regardless, boys, pretty fucking W day from GGG. Overall, much higher than I was. Well, I don't know. I was kind of expecting this to be a decent one, but I didn't think they were gonna go with that big deck. Hey, so far it looks like a massive GGW. Now, is it all a ruse? Is it all a mirage? And actually, it looks like a lot on the surface, but the reality is it sucks dick. I don't know. We're gonna find out. The only way to find out is by playing. I'm excited to play PoE1 again. The most excited I've been since they added in the new pinnacles. Since, like, literally since Exile, that this is the most hyped I've been for PoE1. So, looks mid. What is this? Quinn's Merc is going to do more damage than him. Some rage baiting ass motherfuckers. God damn it. Suck my dick! Alright, boys, until next time. Peace out, have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Deep dive, patch notes, watching the video again, but pausing and looking at every single frame. Good job,
I'm the same builds. I'm misgreeding this round. No more new straps. No more leaking. No more greeding. I feel so lonely and sash. I still hear the music. I still see 2 subs. I still see 1 pirate. I still see 1 Benji. I still see 1 sniper. I still see Quinn losing. I feel so lonely and sash. Look at that copian monkey bottom left. Doesn't care about our blues addiction. Sash. I still believe.